how does he know what the sound of a whip is? Like, what is, how does he know that? I don't think his mom was whipping him, but maybe his mom would like con el cinto, you know, like.
Oh,
So
I think that for that perspective, I think it kind of lends to the theory that like he was Hope and he couldn't. Okay, I cannot even engage with that, but he was what she needed all along. But anyways,
he was and is and always will be.
yep.
And Gil never will be.
But okay, you see, I wasn't even fucking going there.
I know. I'm una pesada. What do you want me to tell you?
I love you. When the full name comes to me, not plain rose, but evening primrose, the flower my sister was named for.
I just got goosebumps.
Like I went to the woods this morning and dug these up for her. Mia. I thought we could plant them along the side of the house. I look at the bushes, the clods of dirt hanging from the roots, and catch my breath at the word rose. I'm about to yell vicious things at Peeta when the full name comes to me. Not plain rose, but evening primrose, the flower my sister was named for.
I just got goosebumps. Do you think Peeta has any flaws?
No.
I know, 10 out of 10. Couldn't say that for you, Gail.
I know you don't want to start this again.
Like when he's like protecting Madge, she's like, why? For what reason? Like she's not just like, oh, that's nice of him. She's like, no, there's a reason. What are you doing? Like she's cynical, and I love that
She's
about her.
100% paranoid too. She's
Super
like,
paranoid.
everybody
And rightfully
here,
so.
yeah, everybody here has a purpose, and the purpose is to fucking kill me.
Yeah.
You know. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Ale.
And I'm Carla, and this is Booked and Buzzin'.
From bestseller to hidden gems, we're going to be sharing our thoughts, reviews, and all the latest buzz in the book world.
Today we're going to be diving into the Hunger Games trilogy again.
Episode 4. So today we're going to focus on the main characters, which are the District 12 victors. We're going to be talking about Peeta, Katniss, and Haymitch. And we might have some side characters come up here and there, but we're going to try to really, really focus on our analysis of each of these characters and just the overall character development that I feel. This is so
been
exciting.
A very long-awaited episode for us.
Yes, because every episode we're kind of like, okay, and then we'll talk about them.
We're like, okay, stop. We can't talk about him. Stop. We can't talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But before we get started, I really would love to have you update them on your night.
What are you talking about?
So, Carla was on the way to my house so that we can record this episode.
I just want to let you know it's nighttime. And when I say nighttime, it's not like 7 or 8.
It's 11.
Yeah. And we had talked about like, I'll go over like earlier and like I'm going to get ready earlier. And like we were like, we're going to start early. And so
And she really was here at 9:30.
I was, which is good because we run late always to everything. It's just a part of
time.
Yep. Sorry. If you don't like it, then don't invite me or lie to me about the time. But I was actually here like on time. And then I was like, I forgot the bread. And I was like, okay, I'll just go to Publix.
And I said, fuck the bread.
Yeah.
Just come.
And I said, no, we need bread. So I pull over and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get the bread. And then I look to my passenger seat and I'm like, where's my mic?
And at that point, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. We'll have to share a mic.
Yeah. And she said that when I was already on my way back home on the highway.
But I was like, just get off. And she's like, no, I'm not going to not record with my mic.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I had the props with me also. So if you haven't noticed, every episode we try to get things that match
we set
the book
stage.
Yeah, whatever like are some symbols of the book that stick out, like a Mockingjay pin or an arrow for Katniss or bread for Peeta or liquor bottles
for Haymitch.
So we try to like always have like a little set.
Yeah, and I will give that full credit to Carla. She's so creative with our sets.
No, it's us. We do everything together. Shut up.
It's totally Carla. Because one of the things that I struggle the most with is creativity. And so, yeah, I think I struggle with it a lot. So you are amazing at this.
Not really. I just kind of like things that stick out to me. Like Peeta's a baker.
Yeah.
Bread.
Yeah.
Haymitch is a drunk. bottles. Katniss uses a bow and arrow. I'm not very like deep with it. If I was, then I'd have like much better props, but I think it's cute. I mean, I think you do a good job.
Adorable.
And then she always like, I'll be like, hey, what do you think of these? And you'll be like, I like this better. So you do have a part in this. It's not like you're just like la 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 la.
I mean, it's not the initial thought, but sure.
No, and even you, I'm pretty sure you're the one who came up with the bottles idea for Haymitch.
That shit doesn't sound like me.
I'm pretty sure we were talking about it because we were like,
maybe.
we've had the same props for 2 episodes. We need to switch it up. Like, what should we do?
No, but this is very cute. So we both did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do.
So she forgets the whole everything,
yeah,
basically.
I fucking forgot everything. Literally everything. I had my iPad and I was like, I'm set. And I left. And we were like 30 minutes away from each other.
So it's epic.
Yeah. So
but
I
I'm
drove
proud of you
all
for
the way
coming
back, and then I drove all the way back here too, and now I'm here, and we have the props, and we have my mic. Because be real, how we would have had a tug of war for the mic if somebody like Gail came up. Like, be serious.
Hold a second.
I would have like covered it, muted it, like snatched it from you. It just would not have worked. I needed the mic.
Okay. But we're here. So that's good.
But we're here.
Okay.
I do want to say I know that we've been drinking wine, so we've not been like too creative with the cocktails, but
we're about to ramp it up.
Yeah.
And the thing is that this is hilarious, but I actually was going to do a rebellion sangria that I told you about. And I was going to do it based on like, you know, Katniss rebelling, and it was going to have like spice in it and like fire.
That's cute.
It's so funny. I sent her a text message.
I love that. How do you put fire on a drink? And it was like, Google was like, do not do that.
Literally Googled, how do I fire up a drink? And Google was like, we cannot recommend that you do that. And I'm like, I didn't ask for your fucking opinion.
And then she was like, I scrolled.
I'm like, but anyways, so I had this whole idea. But because we were running on time, I was just like, let's just do wine. But then we were running late anyways, so I might as well have fucking done the special drink.
No, but it's fine because I think that we've done the trilogy. I think this might be the last episode. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have for the trilogy. So we've done the whole trilogy with the berries for now.
I'm sure we'll have something to say.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that that's nice that we had like the same, you know, the crushed berries. And then for the next episode, which will be Snow's episode, we'll have a special snow cocktail.
Yeah. And I do love we kept a couple of the props the same, but like when we entered into like catching fire, we had the fire out. And so I think we're doing amazing. Regardless.
No, I think we did great. I think we did great. I just also forgot everything today. So,
who do you want to start with?
The man of the hour, Peeta. Peeta, the Rizmaster Mellark.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to. Okay, Peeta.
Okay.
He has my whole heart. I think he's one of the few characters that I don't have anything bad to say about. The only thing that I was like, that's not great, was that he was like, I don't care about my family. Like, he was like, in Catching Fire, he was like, if I die, like, you have something to go back to. If you die, I have nothing. And I'm sure that his brothers were home like, hello? Like, watching that shit.
You know what's interesting? Now that you mention that, because that is a good point. I wonder why we don't get any type of background to his life.
You get some.
Barely. Like, we don't know any about his, like, dynamics with his family.
Well, okay, you know that him and his mom have problems. That his mom is like abusive.
I mean, but his mom, yeah.
Well, okay, so there's hints. There's hints. So for example, when Gale gets whipped, remember that? I saw a creator mention online, like they were like that Katniss and Peeta were talking when Gale was getting whipped, and Peeta was like, "What was that?" Like he hears the whip, and then Katniss was like, "What?" And he's like, "We need to go." And somebody, like a creator online, was like, how does he know what the sound of a whip is? Like, how does he know that? I don't think his mom was whipping him, but maybe his mom was like con el cinto, you know, like. Oh. So I think there's hints. I think there's inklings of like.
How does Peeta know right away what that sound is? It's so freaking true.
Or like, I mean, the fact that his mom gave him a bruise. Like, do you know how hard she would have had to hit him to bruise him? And then
Yeah.
you see that
Okay,
Peeta's
so-
dad was in love with Katniss's mom,
Yep.
which is so like foreshadowing.
I know. And in a way, though, now that you actually, this is great. Another wonderful part of Suzanne Collins' writing.
I know.
Because you're right. Because when you look into it now you know, knowing what you know about just the dynamics of an abusive household, no wonder his brothers and him aren't close. They're like all trying to survive.
Right. And even Katniss says, I mean, I think this is a little multi-layered because Katniss says in the same thought, she says, Peeta has two brothers, and I think one of them is like older but still eligible to be like reaped, and he didn't volunteer for Peeta when Peeta got called. But Katniss also says like, when you get called, you get called, and it's like siblings don't volunteer.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean,
Which is fine. Like it is what it is in this world. But it does show the relationship difference.
and I believe I might be wrong, but doesn't Peeta's dad give Katniss cookies?
yeah.
Does
And
Peeta-
then even Peeta's mom visits her too, though.
No. Peeta's
No.
mom says like
Peeta's
we'll
mom
finally have a
says-
victor and it's gonna be
No,
Katniss. Bitch.
Like that one.
But doesn't Peeta be like, my dad gave you cookies? Like, isn't he like what?
Yes.
Okay, so that also is kind of like there's no specific details, but you do get kind of an illusion that like,
Yeah.
okay, so Peeta's family kind of like sucks. Like they don't
Yeah.
really care about him. Or
No.
not that they don't care, but they're very emotionally void.
Yeah. I agree.
So you get inklings. You don't really know
It's true.
his
I
family
actually
dynamic.
I love when you read into something.
I
and
know.
You're like, oh.
I know. But I will say, I think pretty much the only flaw that Peeta had was how, like, little he gave a shit about his family and that, like, but then it's funny because, like, when he does care, because when he finds out that Snow basically put a hit out on them, he's like, convince me. Peeta gets really pissed at Katniss and he's like, Katniss, I have people I care about too. Like, I have a family. So
Yeah.
he's a little complex with it. I think
Yeah.
overall Katniss, oh my God, I think overall Katniss is just like the love of his life. Like his
Yeah.
love for her consumes him.
Yep.
And I think that he doesn't really have a great relationship with his family. And I think he moves into the mansion by himself, right? Like,
Okay, I was gonna bring that up. I think he does. I don't think his family joins him.
I don't think so either. I'm pretty sure that, like, again, it's not
Why? Like
explicitly
it's a nicer
well,
house.
well, he probably was like, fuck you guys.
True.
Listen, if you're beating the shit out of me, bitch, you're not coming to live in my mansion. I'm sorry. Stay
True.
in the bakery.
Yeah.
With the pigs.
The bread.
And the pigs. Cochina.
No, but it's true. That's actually a good point. So, Peeta.
It seems like Peeta has something of a relationship with his dad because Peeta mentions too, like, oh, my dad buys squirrels off of her and like she always shoots it through the eye. And like you start kind of like, okay, so he talks about his dad. He also says like, oh, my dad was in love with your mom. Like I think he has somewhat of a relationship with his dad. I think whatever relationship he has with his mom is super strained. And I don't know a single thing about his brothers.
We don't know anything.
I don't
about
even
his
know their
brothers.
names. Like,
Same. Which, now that we think about it, I think is the whole point.
yeah.
I think Suzanne wanted you to know, like, nothing, because they're not really
I think she
worth
sprinkled in like little Easter
Yep.
eggs that was, and she
Yep.
was like, read into it kind of thing.
Yep, yep, yep.
Do you think Peeta has any flaws?
No.
I know, 10 out of 10. Couldn't say that for you, Gail.
I know you don't want to start this again.
No, I don't, because like I just don't think that any viewer wants to see another episode. We have talked about Gail in every episode.
Because you keep hating him, and he
I-
cannot be hated.
We're not gonna get into it, but he can.
Okay.
Anyways, so
Listen, I am a Gale defender, and she's a Gale hater.
well then you can marry Gail.
I'm not gonna marry Gale. You marry Gale.
No, I'm marrying Peeta.
No.
Yeah.
Me.
No, me. This is like when
I'm
we were in
just
middle
saying.
school. No, I'm Massey Block. No, I am.
Oh my god. These lore
The lore. You don't even know.
of the clique.
We should
So-
do a click episode.
Don't even tell me because I fucking will. Because I
I
fucking
think
will.
we should.
Okay, so you guys can literally see how long Card and I have been reading
Yeah.
books together.
7th grade.
So,
And I'm not going to tell you how old we are, so. Okay, fine. 23. Okay, so anyways, Peeta. Shh. So anyways, Peeta. Oh my God.
so
The Riz.
yes.
There were
So
so
one of the
many
things-
quotes that he had
so
that I was
many
like,
quotes.
Peeta.
Do you have any that you want
I
to share?
do, but continue so that I can look for them.
Okay. So one of the things that I really loved about Peeta's character was that right off the bat when you meet him, he's scared shitless when his
Yeah.
name is called.
Yeah.
And he doesn't try to hide it.
I love that.
Yeah. He's scared shitless. He doesn't try to flaunt it. He doesn't try to hide it. He is scared shitless. And when he comes to terms with like, okay, like on stage with Katniss, and Katniss kind of looking at him like, great out of all people.
I know.
Um,
Which at first I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Why?
yeah, I know, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Which I did have a lot of, the first time around that I read this book, I did have a lot of like, ¿por qué tan pesado? You know? But still love her.
I was confused.
Yeah. Well, I'll wait, but I get it now. Like after I read the whole thing.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you first start reading, you're like, why is she like that? This
Yeah,
guy has
yeah.
done nothing to her. But anyways, long story short, I like that right off the bat, you're already getting a character that isn't faking anything.
Mm-hmm.
And why do I say this? Because the second Peeta steps into the Capitol, he is charismatic as fuck.
Yep.
He has figured out, or maybe he always had it, where he was like, oh, we're
Bro.
playing a game.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking of all the times that he just slam dunked capital shit.
So, and we see it in the first book when he lands there and there's like people waving at him and he starts waving back. And
So
so you
cute.
see this whole thing kind of like, wait, so like, is he excited to be there? Because like that was not the vibe you were giving
Yeah.
before. But no, and then you get into the character that Peeta is, and he so quickly becomes like such a character in the games of the Capitol. So skilled in like finessing
The system.
the system.
Yeah. He's great at it. And it almost makes me wonder, like, did he... Okay, I know we kind of touched on, like, the star-crossed lover theme. Like, when did that start? When did that plot start?
Okay.
I don't know when. And I really... Normally, I can kind of, like, speculate, like, oh, I think it started here with this. Since we have Cinna and then Haymitch and then over here, like, giving you different... At different times, different things. I don't know. But I do wonder if at some point... Peeta was like, I have a huge crush on her. Like, I've always liked her. And kind of like, maybe that's how the star-crossed lover angle came about.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think Haymitch told him to do that in the first interview.
I think he did.
I don't think so. Let's look up our notes.
I mean, it's never specified. But here's what I mean. Like, so the star-crossed lover thing... Ay, coño. The star-crossed lover thing...
No, Haymitch did not tell Peeta.
How do you know that? Haymitch was aware of this. Haymitch encouraged them to play up the romance.
And Peeta's feelings for Katniss were genuine. We know that.
Yeah.
And then Haymitch
Okay.
introduced...
Do you know how much you need to love somebody without speaking to them to be like, I'll sacrifice my life for that bitch? They had not had a conversation. All he did was throw bread at her. Like, he was like, I will die for you.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
So, and by the
here's the
ways,
thing.
it
So-
makes sense that she was super suspicious of him because it's like, why wouldn't she be? We were not friends.
That's what I was going to say.
You threw bread at me once.
It's totally
Thanks.
normal for her to be like, why? To be paranoid almost. Like,
Yeah,
what are you trying to
it's the Hunger
catch with
Games.
me?
If she wins, it's because he dies.
Yep.
So that makes sense. I don't know. For me, the star-crossed lovers thing is so like hard to pin down. Where I'm like, I don't know if, because Cinna is like their first, like they're like, hey Mitch, teach us shit, and Haymitch is like, no, and then he's like, okay, look, I got fighters, you guys listen to the stylist, and then immediately Cinna's like, hold hands, and immediately Katniss is like, weird, and after that is when they're in the penthouse and Haymitch is like, you guys are gonna do everything together, and they wear the same outfits and they everything.
And then Peeta was like, it sucks that like I come to, because they Caesar, which we do need to talk about, comes in and says like, oh, do you have a special girl back
But
home?
the interview wasn't immediate. It was like, it took time.
Right.
So
but
I
that's
wonder,
the first time that he says it.
but there's many instances where Katniss comes for breakfast and everybody's already sitting down talking. So I wonder if at any point,
So you think it's like low key? We're not supposed to know.
I think that Haymitch knew. I think Peeta told him. And I think Haymitch was like, maybe you should play that up. Like, it'll make you look like a lover boy. It'll, like, add, like, an element to this. Like, I don't think Peeta just said it. Or maybe he did. Because Peeta, one thing about my boy Peeta is that he is so good at this fucking interview shit. And, like, oh, my God. I don't even want to talk about it yet. But, like, when he's like, if it wasn't for the baby... That was amazing. I don't want to talk about it yet, but
I remember reading that. Okay, fine.
No, we can go into it. I just thought you wanted to keep talking.
No, and let's just do this because I remember reading it for the first time when we were like, what, in middle school? And I was like,
There's a baby?
I was like, when did that happen?
But you know, it's so
That's
brilliant.
how convincing he was.
And Katniss says it. She was like, he just decimated all of us. She was like, with that line, Peeta has caused mayhem. The crowds went crazy. They shut everything down. And because of that, all of the victors started holding hands. And then this is what I love about Peeta in the books is like, he's confident. He's not like,
Yes.
and I love how Josh Hutcherson portrayed Peeta. I thought he was great.
Yep.
But in the movies, he's way more mansito. He's way more like passive.
Yes.
Way
He's
more
way
like
more
bows down.
wimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just like
I think
a
that-
liability and like.
I mean, come on. The first book as a movie makes him seem like a total liability.
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't say that, and I really did think Josh Hutcherson was great at portraying him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved, like, when I think of Peeta's face, I think of Josh Hutcherson
me
now.
too.
I'm not saying anything about that. But what I am saying is that in the books, Peeta is so much more, like, confident. He has his own mind. He does shit, like, he doesn't ask for permission. Because right after he does that, he walks up to Katniss, and he's like, tell me right now if I need to apologize for something. And she's like, no. And he's like, great. And he grabs her hand. Like, he's not like, are you mad at me? You know, like, he's just like, it was so like, tell me now. And she was like, no. And he's like, okay, great. Hands up, you know? And I was just like, yes, bro, yes. Like, Peeta's like, I do what I need to do.
And you know what I love? Okay. I hadn't even thought about this until right now. But you know what I love?
What?
I love how they are portrayed in different strengths. Mm-hmm. Like
I was just thinking about how Peeta's strong in one way.
Yes.
And perceived as weak because of that.
Exactly. But Katniss is strong in the like, I'm gonna shoot first, ask questions later in a way. Mm-hmm. And Peeta is much more seen like as he's not a violent person, but he knows how to play in mind games.
Yep.
That she doesn't know how to play.
So exactly. Katniss is very skilled at combat.
Strength, kind of.
Yeah. Being fierce, you know, just like the
Which is
bronze, I guess.
Yeah, and it was done so beautifully because these are not the normal gender roles.
No.
You know? So like not only did she give that quality to the wrong gender role, right? But beautifully.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
And Peeta's so emotionally and mentally mature and complex. And Katniss is so emotionally immature.
I know.
So, I wouldn't even say mentally immature because she had to grow up quickly. But when it comes to anything that's like being a woman or a girl, she's completely stunted.
Yep, 100%.
And Peeta's very mature in that. Like, I love that about him. And I love how, like, it's exactly what you said. Like, Peeta, remember when Haymitch keeps something from them? What was it? He was like, Katniss was like, why didn't you tell me? And he was like, because I can't tell you anything. You don't know how to act. And Peeta, I don't need to tell him anything. He's just perfect at,
Yes.
I think it was that, crap, what was it? Something with snow, right? That their lives were in danger?
Yes. Okay, so it was after the first Hunger Games that they're a part of, and they are being brought back, and they're basically dolling her up, right? And she's super confused. And
Yes,
she's
yes,
sitting
yes,
on
yes,
the
yes.
couch, like, we don't know what's
Lovey-dovey.
going on. Super lovey-dovey, super, like, whatever. But she doesn't know the direct hit that she's about to take. And everybody just kind of, like, didn't tell her anything because she was going to fuck it up. And then she's like to Haymitch, like, how come you didn't warn me? And he's like, because you don't know how to act when you're being emotionally hunted.
Yeah. And then Peeta was like, and what about me? And he was like, I don't need to tell you anything. You're natural. And that does speak to how, what we were just talking about, how Peeta is so good at playing the game. He's so good at playing the Capitol, playing the crowd. Even that little, like, banter where he's like, do I smell like roses? And then they, like, sniff each other. And Katniss is like, Peeta's a natural at this. Like, in the book, she's like, him and Caesar have a little bit where they're smelling each other. Yeah, she's pissed.
Annoyed. She's like,
pissed.
this fucking guy.
But you know what? I love, and this is one of the things I love about Katniss that I will get into it in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Is that, like, how I hate when a character is just perfect at everything. A natural Violet at everything.
I knew
It
she
has
was gonna-
no
she has to
weaknesses.
say it.
Because it's so stupid and unrealistic. And one of the things I love about Katniss is that, like, por más que ella trate, la niña no puede. Like, Katniss sucks at the charisma shit.
She cannot
She's
act.
not likable. I love her.
She has
but she
no
is not
idea.
likable in like any one-to-one scenario.
No.
And, like, even when they're talking about her interview, even when she's saying her interview, she's like, I just giggle and twirl and, like, that's it. And then, like, she sits down and then Peeta comes on and he fucking steals the show. And she's like,
How do I do that?
she's like, I suck at this shit. And I think that she's jealous in that moment where she's like, fuck, bro. Like, he's going to get all the sponsors because look at him being all fucking smelling each other and funny. And, like, and look at me. Like, all I did was twirl like a little dumbass. And I'm like, I love that. I love that Katniss is like, when she tries to be, when she's put on the spot and they try to, like, make her recite a line about the rebellion and they're all like,
Yeah, you're right. Fuck that.
they're like, Katniss, try again. And she's like,
And no, but then
rebellion.
but then Haymitch is like, this is a disaster.
And that's how a rebellion dies.
Yes.
Yeah. But I love that. I love that they're like, that Katniss, por más que ella pueda, like, she can't. She can't. And Peeta can. And then on the flip side, Peeta is, like, clumsy in the forest. She talks about it all the time. Like, she gets pissed. She's like, he's so fucking loud, bro.
The part where she was like, it sounds like someone's running. And he was just like, I'm just going to wait here. She's like, no, it's not that bad.
And he's like, no, go ahead.
It's fine. I suck.
But I love that. I love that they all have, like, very obvious and, like, palpable weaknesses. Like, Peeta's very strong, but he's not skilled in battle. He's not skilled at surviving.
Exactly. And I love that you learn how off the bat he's very genuine.
Yeah.
And then he, like, switches up with class.
Yep. And I love how, like, yeah, he's genuine, but, like, I'll be honest, Katniss had a reason to be like, what the fuck are you up to? Because Peeta,
I think she was confused for, like, 75% of the first book.
I was too. Because I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? I thought he was a career. Like, what?
I know.
And then even when, like, they're like, oh, two survivors or whatever, two winners, she, like, runs to him and, like, they're together in that cave. And I'm like, wait, was this, like,
planned?
So you really were just going to die for her? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And, like, I think it tracks, right? Because it's like, think about it. Okay. If you've had one interaction with this blonde boy where he threw you bread and then that's it, and, like, you guys looked at each other and that's it. And I know she associates him with, I love this, she associates Peeta with hope because she was about to, like, die. You know, she was she was trying to sell her baby sister's clothes to get any little morsel of money to buy food.
Yeah.
Her family
Yep,
was
yep,
on
yep.
the brink of death. And then she smelled the bread and she stood there and she watched. And Peeta's evil mother came out and was like, leave, and started yelling at her.
Yeah.
And Peeta intentionally burned the bread and threw it to her because his mom was like, I'll throw it to the pigs. So she takes the bread home and she puts it under her shirt and it's like burning her, but she's like, I have to take them home. I gotta hold on to them. And they had a full like bread. They had like 2 loaves and it was like grainy and full. And she's so descriptive about it, right? And then she says the next day at school, like I see him and I want to say something, but I don't. And right when I'm leaving, like she sees a dandelion and she remembers, I think, her dad. And she's like, I will always associate Peeta with that dandelion that gave me hope. I know.
I think that for that perspective, I think it kind of lends to the theory that like he was hope and he couldn't. Okay, I cannot even engage with that, but he was what she needed all along. But anyways,
He was and is and always will be.
yep.
And Gil never will
But
be.
okay, you see, I wasn't even fucking going there.
I know. I'm una pesa. What do you want me to tell
I
you?
love you. But listen, okay. So here's the other thing about the Peeta like progress, right?
Right.
So here's what thing that I think was written so wonderfully, right? So the whole time, I don't even know like the point. Okay, the point of them separating, right? Because like they come back and they agree, like, oh, let's get trained together. And then he's like, no, I want to be trained on myself. Then she's immediately like, sus, like that's
Which, like,
fair.
fair.
Yeah. So then who's not going to feel on edge with this person, right? And so then that continues. And then
But I think he never intended for them to partner up because he was like, I think he didn't, no one knew that whole 2 Victor shit was going to be announced.
No.
So I think he was like, yeah, this is a good point to break this off.
like I already kind of told her how I feel, but like there's only going to be one
Well,
winner.
he didn't because he took it back. He was like, I never meant that. Even though, like,
Well, yeah.
yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
But you were embarrassed.
But I did. And then like she hits him. I know. Which is fucking hilarious. But okay, I'm going to step into just something like it can be brief, but conspiracy.
Okay.
Okay. Because this has never been fully understood. But it almost is giving me even more vibes towards like, could Peeta have known all along too?
I don't think so.
Because here's what I'm feeling.
Okay.
If there is so much perspective about the idea that you are now all of a sudden telling everybody that the girl that you love is in the games with you, right? And no one ever talked about that, but Haymitch is like, he saved you with this. Why? Why right off the bat are we trying to save Katniss?
So Haymitch kind of, remember when Katniss goes to the cave, like finds Peeta, goes to the cave with him, whatever, and she's like, oh yeah, because like, you know, Haymitch be sending stuff, and he was like, he doesn't send me anything, and she's like, oh, that's weird. And then in the end, like, I think Peeta says like, Haymitch was like trying to save you, like or I don't even know if he said it, but I think she internally was like, was he trying to save me, or was it just that he was sending me things because we would communicate, which I love that. I love that they were communicating without words.
Right off the bat, they hated each other, but they understood each other.
And so I think it's maybe in the second book or in the first, but she straight up asks him, like, she's like, were you like trying to save me or Peeta or what? And he says, Haymitch tells her, like, I thought in between like the boys' like desperation to keep you alive and me with like the sponsors and stuff, like I thought we stood a chance at you being the victor. So Haymitch admits, like, I was trying to save you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go back to the drawing board with my conspiracies. But
I think that Peeta was pretty clueless. I think he was a pawn. I think the conspiracy heads really truly were Plutarch. I don't even think Haymitch was that deep in it, but I think Haymitch as well. And obviously Coin.
No.
I think Haymitch was a pawn.
Something that nags me about it still is how quickly they ran with this is a team right off Cinna's comment.
No, I agree. I don't understand, like, why did they unite so quickly and, like...
Right off the bat, and Cinna asks for District 12.
So I think Cinna, I think Plutarch, I think there were quite a few capital people, because even Plutarch says, like, that he has people on the inside, and that's how they know where Peeta is in the third book, where he is in the capital.
Yeah.
And that Plutarch is like, oh, like, that's it. I don't have any more informants because I had to pull them out as soon as we took Peeta.
Yeah.
So I think there's conspirators in the capital. I think that the district people, victors, were pawns. I think some of them knew a little more. I think of all the district victors, probably Haymitch knew the most because he was Katniss's mentor. But I don't think that he was a true, like, influential part. And I'll tell you why. Because in the third book... Well, yes, but no. Because in the third book, when you have power... in many, many worlds, and including this one, you tend to be able to do whatever the hell you want. I mean, just look at all these corrupt people that just do awful things because they can. And nobody says anything, and they get away with it because they can. Because they have influence, because they have power, right? In the third book, they get to District 13, and Katniss is like, where's Haymitch? And you get the question of, like, where's Haymitch? And somebody, whether it's Katniss or somebody else, informs you that, like, oh, no, he's, like, locked up because they're, like, drying him out because he can't have alcohol here because it's prohibited. Oh, yeah. If you were really that influential, I feel like I'm a top head. Like, if I want alcohol, I'm going to have it kind of thing.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I don't know if that's a strong argument because Plutarch loves coffee and he never has any. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like...
No, because you're onto something, because even Plutarch doesn't know half the shit. Like, he didn't know about, like, the design team being kept in the basement. And even Katniss is like, oh, he doesn't know that they're playing a game with him.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that the biggest conspirators are Plutarch, capital people that we don't know of. And then, obviously, Coin. And then Haymitch is probably, of all of the victors, of all of, like... the poor
Maybe
people,
he's the first
basically,
one that got approached.
that he's probably the one that knows the most of all of them. But I think even he, like, really didn't, like, I don't think he incited this. I don't think that he planned a rebellion. I think that it's what you said last time. Remember where you were like, I feel like they were planning something forever and they were just waiting for the spark, and the spark came with Katniss, and then that's where everything unfolded. But I don't think there was this, like, grand conspiracy where, like, Katniss came in and Haymitch was already a part of this conspiracy. Yeah. That's just my thoughts.
Okay. No, I agree with that. I actually I want to understand.
I know, but she just
doesn't
won't give you the answer. No,
she won't give me anything.
She's one of those authors that leaves things open for interpretation.
But you know what? Now that she has given us the Haymitch, she's got to give me some background, please.
Oh, I'm sure she
eventually
will. I'm sure she will.
But okay. So here's the other thing that I want to mention about Peeta before we move on. Not that we have to move on right away, but okay. So here's the next very, very important part, right? We see almost a climax in the relationship where he helps her escape the Jabberjays. Are those what they're called? No, the Jacks. No.
I think you're right. Jabberjays, right?
I want to make sure.
The Mockingjays sing. Yeah, the Jabberjays are the ones that used to, like, record what people were saying and take them back.
No, that's a Jabberjay.
So I'm assuming that's what that bird was.
No, they're like bees. Tracker?
No, tracker jackers are what stung her.
Yes. Okay. So. So yes, that's what I meant. Okay. So the moment where she drops the tracker jackers and he's like, he's part of the careers, right? And then he runs back and he's like, you need to run, right? I think that's the first time that the reader's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You give a fuck. But I loved that she was bit, right? So she's like delusional. She's like, did that happen? Did that not happen? So now the reader's like, yeah, we don't fucking know either. Like, did it happen or did it not happen? And then it moves on to, you know what I just realized?
What?
We never spoke about Rue.
I don't have much to say.
No. Well, okay.
We could talk about her.
No, we don't have to. But I think that was such a emotional part of Katniss. And I think it just shows, like, the first almost example of her not being given a script and just doing the most.
We did talk about this in the first
Okay.
episode, how
Good.
like Rue's
was
death
like,
was a turning
so
point
long
for
ago.
her, where I know,
Because
like 3 years ago.
we can talk about this for like ever, apparently.
But it's the turning point where, like, remember we were like, oh, I have it right here. Katniss no, sorry, wrong one. Where Katniss is like, finally, all of Gale's like ramblings make sense to me, and I understand. And she starts talking about how like, the injustices of the Capitol, and it's all because of Rue.
Yep.
So we did touch on it. We can
Okay,
go
okay.
into her at the end with Caesar if you have any other like thoughts you want to talk about.
No, I think I just remembered, and I'm like, wait, did I never talk about this? But I mean, like, I can talk forever.
It was very
like,
brief.
So,
But
okay.
yeah, we'll see.
But anyways, so then this happens, and then Katniss is like alone again, right? Like Rue dies, she's alone again. Then they're like, there can be 2 victors, and she like, Peeta.
Yeah, she sits up
Right.
and like yells his
And
name,
then we're like,
which I think was a natural reaction.
yeah, like it was just all of a sudden, it was instinctual. So then it just leads the reader to be like, when did you develop this?
Yeah.
You know?
So, okay, in the first book, I watched the first movie before I read the books. That's what sparked me to read the books. So in the first movie, I thought that she loved him. Like, I was like, because you don't get the internal dialogue. So then when I read, like, when it ends and Peeta's like, so where do we go from here? And she's like, I'm like nowhere. And I was like, what? Wait, what the fuck's going on? And then I read the book and I was like, oh, it was a ploy this whole time.
Yep. True.
And she does give you internal dialogue where she's like, I have to go back for him because if I don't and I win, I'm gonna be like, I can't survive in District 12.
It's true.
But by leaving him.
That's true. Okay. So then we see the cave scene where he's like fucking dying.
Yeah.
And he has so much risk.
Dude, she's like cleaning his stuff and he's
Give me a
like,
kiss.
free to kiss me, and she's like, stop, and he's like, and she's like laughing, and I was like, oh my god, that's so
What
cute.
are you doing? What are you doing?
This is what I'll say. Like, I think Peeta he's been the only guy to ever like, I think like make her like giggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know that she had feelings for Gale too, but
Yeah.
it was very different where it was very like deep and like they had this bond and confusing. And with Peeta, like,
duty. This
yeah,
was like,
and she had love for him no matter what as her friend, as her best friend. So it was just more complicated for her.
Yeah.
But I think with Peeta, it was like she didn't
guy's so
have
ridiculous.
anything with him.
Yeah.
So she was like, stop. Like, you know, like those little
Yes.
like, stop, you're bothering me.
like I know you like me.
And her being like, oh my
was-
God, stop. And they have so much intimacy.
Yeah. And that's the whole moment of like they start talking about like their lives, right? And like not like deep, but like conversations that create like a knowledge that other people in the district are not going to have about them, right? And then she drugs him.
But okay, look, so in the cave, I have a few quotes. So he tells her like, I've always had a crush on you. And she's like, in her head, she's like, oh, he's saying this for the cameras. And he's like, ever since, I don't know what kindergarten or whatever that their equivalent of that is. He was like, you were 5 years old, you had like 2 braids, I think, and you had this blue dress on and you sang this song. And he was like, all the birds stopped to listen. And she was like, wait, I did have that dress. I did sing a song on
this
the
shit
first
is
day of
real.
school. And she was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So she starts kind of being like, are you like
Is this
actually
for real? Yeah.
saying this, or is this just for the like whatever? So he's like, so yeah, I've had a crush on you for as long as I can imagine. And then he says, so in a way, my name being drawn in the reaping was a real piece of luck because like he got to be with her. And I was just like, Peeta, right now in the cave with your leg like about to be chopped off. And then he goes, oh my God, I remember everything about you. You're the one who wasn't paying attention. I was like, stop, you do? And
But
then
he read her so perfectly.
and then she's like, so you know how I love this part because it brings a
know.
part of Katniss that is like you don't see it anywhere, which is
Yep.
like her little girliness, because she's like, Oh, so you've never like noticed another girl, which is such a like girl
Such
thing
a
to
girl
say,
thing
right?
to say, like,
She's
I
like,
saw
oh
you.
yeah, okay, so you've never noticed another girl, like, and he was like,
I've seen you
no.
with other girls in the school and stuff.
And she goes, no, I noticed just about every girl, but none of them made a lasting impression but you. And I was like, I'm blushing, Peeta, I'm blushing.
What are these words that you're
He
saying?
has so much riz, it's insane.
Yeah.
Peeta is so smooth.
So smooth.
And he's
so
like dying.
like- I know, that's the worst part. Like, he's like dying and he's
His
like,
leg is like festering.
and he has like these one-liners coming one right after the other.
And Katniss, by the way, is like vomiting because she doesn't know what to do. Like, she just like, I mean, she's not
she
vomiting, but
just
she's
sucks
just
at
like, I
this.
don't know what to say. I don't know what to,
Yeah.
like, she's so awkward.
She's just like, mm-hmm.
She's like, okay. And she's just like, I'll just kiss him because I don't know what to say.
It was so real. It was so, she was like, I need to, like, that's why I think she drugged him. She's like,
I need to get the fuck away from you.
to get the fuck away from you and get what I'm good
Mental
at,
clarity.
which is like hunt things down.
Yeah.
I need to get this medicine for you. I need you to get out of my way. And I also need a break from what the fuck this is.
And I just want to say, like, okay, if I was forced to be in a cave with a guy that I went to school with, I would be like, you know, like, get away from me.
No, thank you.
Right? And
I'll be somewhere else.
like, I would just be like, this is really fucking awkward. And like, let's say that like I had to play up like some shit. I'd be like, but like, I would be like,
imagine.
No.
I think you'd be Katniss.
yeah.
I think you'd be Katniss.
Yeah.
I think Carta has the. I don't think you can play up.
No.
I think that your face shows everybody like I
can't.
fucking hate you.
Yeah, I can't.
I think
fake
I might.
That shit.
I think I might fake it. I think I could fake it a little. No, probably not.
No.
No, I think we both suck.
No. I think that whatever. Let's just say that I had to fake it because I was like, I'm gonna die if I don't. I think I would be like, okay, but internally, right? Like, she's laying on him, and there's a part where we've talked about it where like he's like stroking her hair and she's dreaming, and in her dream she's like, oh, that's my mom stroking my hair. And then she's like, she tells you in that scene like, oh, I would never let my mom stroke my hair if I was like awake, because then she'll know that like I'm okay with that. But when I'm asleep, like I let her do that. And then she realizes it's Peeta, and she's like, I feel comfort. And I just want to say, like, I would never feel comfort with any guy stroking my hair.
Ew.
If I didn't like, like it's just like with a guy that I went to school with that like we never talked, and like I'm stuck in this situation, I'd be like, stop fucking touching me. Like I'd be like, let's fucking go.
You know what though? But this is such a perfect moment for me to bring up the whole her being annoyed that it was him.
Yeah.
Why? And I think now I'm getting the vibe that we're actually going to talk about Katniss and Peeta for a while together as we go through these books. And then Haymitch is going to be something that we'll dive into.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important. I think it's part of the story. But the moment where he is like stroking her hair and she doesn't know, like she's like pretending like it's him or whatever. But then it goes back to the like this comfort thing, right? But it all goes back to the idea that she feels like she owes him.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't like him or doesn't want to like him. But she knows that he's a good person. Like that initial reaction.
Like, I don't know yet.
We don't know.
Eventually she realizes like, oh, you're genuine. You're sincere.
Yeah. And yes, later on.
It's funny
but
too.
But the initial of him giving her the bread and her associating him with hope is already from the beginning. She feels some type of way because she feels in debt to him.
Yeah, so I agree. When she was like, when he first got called and she was like, anybody but him, I was like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why? And then she was like such a bitch about him. And I was like, bro, ¿qué tú tienes con él? Like, why do you hate him so much? Yeah. And then she keeps explaining the bread and how she's like, I owe him and now I'm going to have to kill him. And like, I don't want to have to do that. And then I was like,
it's her moral code.
Okay, I see. This is like a emotional complex for you.
Code. Yeah.
And the more she goes into it, the more you realize like he turned everything for her. Because right after she saw that dandelion, she was like, I'm going to go hunt. Correct. And she associates the dandelion with Peeta and hope and all that stuff. So you start to understand, like, okay, so this is why you had such a hard time with him being reaped with you.
Yep.
That I'm in those stroke of luck for both of them.
Seriously. But anyways, so let me just, as we go through, well, do you have any other quotes that you wanted to share about him?
So many.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I love Peeta.
I know, me
Catching
too.
Fire. I think, what is it that he's doing? I think he's like, I could be wrong, but I think he's like decorating like a cake or something. I don't know. But Katniss is like, she says something about beauty and like weakness and stuff like that, right? And Peeta goes, having an eye for beauty isn't the same as a weakness, except possibly when it comes to you, to Katniss. And I was like, Peeta, stop.
Why are you being like this?
I love him.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, you know what part I love? The rooftop scene in Catching Fire. Do you remember? Where they're supposed to be training with Haymitch for the interviews, and he's like, just go, do whatever you want. And so they both go up to the roof, and then like they start, like, they're boyfriend and girlfriend in that fucking scene, basically, because they're just like, she's laying on him and they're feeding each other like grapes or whatever, and they're just like laughing and hanging out, and he's playing with her hair, and I think like she makes like a flower crown or he makes her a flower, something like that. And then Peeta goes, I just want to spend every possible minute of the rest of my life with you, because he asks her, like, she asks him about like the games and stuff like that, and like, are you nervous? And they're like, in that moment, he's like, I just want to spend like every
moment that I have
every last minute of my life with you. He's so sweet.
And it's such an amazing foreshadowing moment. Not okay, so maybe not foreshadowing, but like in the first book when they find themselves up there in the rooftop and they have like not like a romantic conversation, but like a real conversation. And then we see that again, and now it's more romantic. It's kind of like they really give star-crossed lovers.
They do. And it's funny because just like you said, in the first rooftop scene in the Hunger Games, the first book, he says, I just want to die like myself. Like, I don't want them to turn me into something that I'm not. And Katniss internally is like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, she's like, have fun dying. And then in the second book, she's like, I understand now. And like she's going into it and she says, like, I want to die as myself. And I don't want the Capitol to make something out of me. And she's like, fuck you to the Capitol now. And she says it like, she's like, I get it now. Like, I get what he was saying the first time we were here.
Which shows the emotional maturity difference, you know? So I'm going to step from here for a second to Katniss, because I think the end of the Hunger Games, the first book, really focuses a lot more on Katniss. And I feel like one of the things that I found a little bit like part of like a difficult character development for me was when they're running to the cornucopia and Cato shows up. And she ends up having to kill him because he's being tortured by these beasts.
That was so brutal.
That was insane to me. That was like, okay. Like, and you heard it and you saw it for hours. And I'm like, okay,
because he had that suit that was like impenetrable, so they could only get parts of him.
So in a way, right, like, this is one of the first, like, I know that overall the Hunger Games creates PTSD, right? For all the victors. Like, we know Haymitch is like fucking drunk all the time to deal with it. But this is one of the biggest moments where I felt like, oh, I can see never being able to sleep again after this one thing. And knowing that she was like, I have to end him is crazy. It's for her.
And it's also something that, like, not everyone can do.
No.
Like, some people cannot. It's against, like, their moral code. And, I mean, I don't even know what I would do in that situation. I would think that I'd be like, I will put you out of your misery.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, when you're actually in the moment, to take a life is insane. Like, it's not something that can easily be done.
Nope.
And obviously she has trauma. You know what's so crazy, too, is that it's, like, you see all of Katniss's trauma, all of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're seeing it through her perspective. But Peeta, on the nights that he sleeps with her, like, and I know
That part.
she's like, oh, like, what about you? Like, don't you have nightmares? And he's like, yeah, I do, but they're usually about losing you. And then I wake up and you're there and I'm fine. And it's like,
stop.
Peeta, you're telling
What are
me
you
that when you were with the
saying?
careers and you were watching them like hack people left and right, that didn't bring like
He was like,
enough PTSD.
move to the next one.
He's like, where's Katniss?
That's so fucking true.
I mean, I love that. I'm just saying, like, it's crazy.
But it also
how,
shows like his emotional
yeah,
compartmentalization.
I think he's great at that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you don't really see the effects of trauma until after he's hijacked and when he comes back for it. Because Katniss says, like, Peeta, like, holds on to chairs, like, to ground himself and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, before that, like, he endured quite a fucking bit in the Hunger Games, too.
Yeah.
And he came out of it, I'm sure, super scarred. But visibly, like, from Katniss's perspective, it was hard to see, like, where are the effects for you? Because she wakes up and he's just like, oh, good morning. You know, like, he's fine.
Because he can compartmentalize and
Yeah.
she cannot,
Yeah.
which was the big difference between not only are they emotionally like in different immaturity levels of emotional ability, I guess.
Yeah.
Like their ability to kind of
Like, regulate.
like yes, that's what I was looking for. Like emotional regulation.
I would agree with that.
So not only that though, right? But I think that begins to kind of like bother her. Like, oh, he didn't even get scarred from this.
I don't think so.
I think there was a point where she was like,
No.
how come well, there's a point where she's like basically an asshole when they get back to District 12 and he's kind of like, okay, let's move on from this together. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? What do you want from me?
But I think it's also because, like, she was like, okay, so the thing about Katniss is that she's very, how do I say this? Like, if I just do this, that, you know, like, she doesn't think about the long run. She's just like, okay, if
Yeah,
I can
like
do this
Gale.
and that. Very short term. No, because he wanted the revolution so that everybody could survive, and Katniss didn't because she was scared that her family was going to die short term, long term. So, anyways, Katniss is very like, she doesn't see the bigger picture. She just sees in the moment. So for her, she was like, I'm going to play up this romance. We're going to win. And then I can go home and be happily ever after. And like, it didn't occur to her, which
just
it
wanna
wouldn't occur
survive.
to me either. But it's like, I just made the entire world think that Peeta and I aren't in love. I need to continue this, right?
Yeah.
She didn't think about that. So now she's on her way home and she's like, holy shit, the Capitol is pissed at me because I did this berry shit and I had to like act super lovey-dovey with him. And like, now he's asking me like, what do I want? And like, I don't fucking know. Like Katniss, when you give her too many emotions, starts getting headaches. Like she's just like, I can't, I don't fucking know. So like,
Yeah.
I think with Peeta in that moment, it wasn't like, oh, so you don't have trauma like me. I think it was more just like, I'm in such a fucking whirlwind right now. Like, your feelings are the last thing I fucking care about. I think that she's like, and she also feels guilty for it because she's like, fuck, I feel like shit. But like, I think that she's like, I did what I needed to for us to survive, and we did. So like,
Well, and in a way, I think she still wasn't very like. I think she still thought that he was faking it.
yeah, I agree. I think she
Yeah.
didn't think that he fully, because she says it. She's like, in the book, we talked about it, that she's like, oh yeah, let me just ask him this. And like, she's like, wow, that's like a really descriptive story. Like, he's really good at making shit up. And then she's like, wait, that I was wearing a blue dress. I did sing on the first day of school. And she's like, does he like actually feel something for me?
Yeah.
So like, I don't think she really fully grasped it. Like, we've talked about this. She is very emotionally immature.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that she resents him. I think it's more that she's just like,
No, I
doesn't
don't
really
think that
even know.
Yeah, I don't think that she resents him. Maybe it was the wrong word, but I do think that she's slightly irked that she's being asked this of him.
I agree. I think that she's like, what the fuck else do you want
Yeah.
from me? You're welcome for surviving. You're welcome that you're
Yeah.
alive.
Correct.
And also, like, I think that's valid. Like, I get it from Peeta's perspective where it's like, I have feelings for you, but it's like, I did what I needed to do for both of us to come out of this alive, and we did. You're welcome. So like,
Yeah.
I love Peeta, But on that, I'm like, yeah, like I get where you're coming from. And like, same, I would feel the same way.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'll agree with you.
I
Yeah,
think in
I think that
Catching
then-
Fire is when it turns, because I think that's the
Okay.
book where her and Peeta fall in
So
love.
this is, yes, and this is the book that really annoyed me
Why?
with Katniss.
Why?
Because, okay, I'm not annoyed by Katniss.
I love her in every book.
No, I love her in every book. But what I'm saying is, like, because I love Katniss and I love Peeta, and I felt like
You
Katniss.
love Peeta more?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I love them both. I don't know if I
Because,
could pick.
okay, what I'm talking about is like a slight more.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Right? But what I mean by this is kind of like, we know as a reader how emotionally unavailable she is.
Mm-hmm.
But hasta cuándo?
Oh, I could say the same thing about Gail. I'm just saying. Like,
we're just going to beef about this for the next 80 years.
Okay, hasta cuándo? The thing is, with Katniss, is she's in such a fucking scary situation, you know?
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I love about her is Gail, I think in the second book, where he's like, I don't remember. I think it's when they're in the shack and she's like, let's run away. And he's like, who's us? And she's like, my family, your family. And he's like, okay, I think we could do it. And she's like, great, but I gotta convince Haymitch and Peeta. And he's like, excuse me? And she's like, yeah, like I'm gonna bring them. And then like they bicker or something. And like I think brings up like, what about us kind of thing. And she's like, Gail, I can't think about that right now. Like I'm scared. Like my family's life is being threatened by snow. Like I can't think about anyone like that right now. So like I get where you're coming from, but from her perspective, like I do get it where she's just like, Katniss is very one-dimensional. She is black and white. She's has a hard time seeing the gray. And like she can see it, but it takes her time. Like with Peeta, like he was the outlier in the first book. And it took her the entire fucking book to realize that.
Yes.
And so I think for her, I think it's not necessarily just emotional immaturity. I think it's that she has so much pressure put on her because she is the Mockingjay and everybody is looking at her and like Snow is looking at her and he's threatening everything she loves. And I think for her, she's just like, I don't have the space for this right now. Like I'm too preoccupied with being scared that my family's gonna die, that I'm gonna die, that like Gail and everybody that I love are gonna be destroyed, which like makes sense to me.
Yeah, and that's when you start also noticing like, oh, like they bonded. Like she's not gonna leave him.
The pearl. The way that she holds onto the pearl in the third book. The way that she puts it on her lips and thinks about Peeta.
My God.
I love them so much.
Okay. Listen, the third book is going to be a bit, so I just want to finish Catching Fire.
Okay, go ahead.
Because that pearl, the whole third book. Okay, so here's one thing that I will say. They get raped again.
Right.
She
Devastating.
basically runs to Haymitch. Peeta's already there. Has already been there.
Why did Peeta need to be in it? Like, I really don't understand why, like, he was like, oh, I'll help her survive, right? Like, that's why he volunteered for Haymitch, because Haymitch got raped, and then Peeta volunteered for him. But, like, Peeta, babe, let's be real, honey. What are you going to do?
No, I think it's part of his moral code. He wasn't going to let Haymitch back in. I actually think that's, yes, about Katniss, but it was also about Haymitch.
That's fine. I can get behind that. I thought it was for Katniss.
No, I think like that is his ulterior motive, and also he's like, I'm not gonna let this old man go into the games when I can do this again.
Such a diamond.
I know.
I love it.
Ugh. So he already ran to Haymitch right away and pleads the case of like, you need to save Katniss again. This is the beginning of what I feel Haymitch really steps into the story for me, where he's like, sweetheart, you could live 1,000-something lives
and never deserve him.
Never deserve this boy. And I was like, oh my God.
Honestly, I love my girl, but like facts.
That's
facts.
So like I love both of them, but I feel like that's when I realized like Peeta's Peeta. And Peeta will still be Peeta without Katniss, but Katniss cannot be Katniss without Peeta.
So his quote to her is, no one really needs me, he says, and there's no self-pity in his voice. It's true. His family doesn't need him. They will mourn him, as will a handful of friends, but they will get on. Even Haymitch, with the help of a lot of white liquor, will get on. I realize Only one person will be damaged beyond repair if Peeta dies. I do. I
That's when she
say, I
realized
need you.
Yeah.
He looks upset, takes a deep breath as if to begin a long argument, and that's no good. No good at all, because he'll start going on about Prim and my mother and everything, and I'll just get confused. So before he can talk, I stop his lips with a kiss. I loved that scene.
I know.
I
That was
loved Catching Fire
so
so much
Okay, so
because
Catching Fire was my favorite as well.
me too. And I love
'Cause
all
then
of
you, like,
them.
yeah,
I love all of
agreed.
them. Like, there's not one where I'm like, oh, this one kind of lagged. This one, no, I love as equally as I can all of them.
Yeah.
But Catching Fire was just like I said, it's the love story between Peeta and Katniss. And I love how Peeta loves her. And I love how Katniss, without understanding it, loves him, and how her body reacts.
does, yes.
Her mind reacts, where she's like, stay with me. And she doesn't understand that it's like, yeah, he brings her comfort. But like, why does he bring you comfort, Katniss? Because he makes you feel safe, because you love him. And she can't recognize that. But she's like, stay with me. Or like in this moment where she's like, he's going to talk about Prim and my mom, and I can't have that, so I'm just going to kiss him.
I can't have him, like not
she
let me
falls
focus.
in love with him without knowing in this book.
I know.
And then, I know I already said this scene, but I have to because I loved it so much. When she talks about Peeta, that he's been taken, right, by the Capitol. And then, so like, she goes, and I'm back on my table, my body restrained, my wrists tied down, so I slam my head in fury again and again against the table.
And
a needle pokes my arm, and my head hurts so badly I stop fighting and simply wail in a horrible, dying animal way until my voice gives out. And if that is not her desperation for how much she loves him.
Like, how was it her entire goal for all of Catching Fire? And then she wakes up and she's like, no, it could not have fucking happened to me that he's gone.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, like, her focus just shifted.
Yep. And that is what makes her be in Vents hysterical. Because when Peeta comes back, she's devastated, but she's functional. And before that,
no,
she is super like heavily traumatized, lives in the hospital, and she slowly gets better because she has a reason to, because of the rebellion, because of this, because of that. But when he gets back, that's when she's like, okay, I'm back. Fucked up still, but I'm back.
Why though? Because now it becomes about revenge. Yeah, like it was always about revenge, but the second that she sees what they've done to her, Peeta,
oh my God,
and Peeta. She's like, oh, I'm never gonna get this guy back.
I love their relationship so much. I love Katniss and Peeta.
I know.
It's so beautiful. And really they're so perfect for each other.
It's
obviously,
such a perfect, it's such a perfect love story, and like the most horrible fucking story.
And I think what makes it the best is that Katniss is so like naive and doesn't understand. And it's so like, you see, like I said, like you see her fall in love with him and she doesn't even know it.
No.
And she's like, who do I pick? How am I going to pick? At some point she thinks
you can even tell, like, okay, so there's a part in, I'm going to kind of bounce back, but there's a part in Catching Fire where they're on the beach and we start getting to like see kind of Suzanne Collins dropping hints that like they're like making out, and like she basically describes like, I have a feeling of like I want more from this guy.
Oh, right? She says that a heat or a passion overtakes her, a desire or something like that.
Desire, right? Which 10 out of 10, like ability to kind of bring us into a moment without porn. Yeah. But then we have such a similar scene with Gale in the third book, but there's no heat from her.
Yep.
There's a point where Katniss engages Gale, and she's looking for more than just the kiss. She's looking for
a distraction.
She's looking for like, I just want to feel something different. And good on Gale. Says no. Moves on. But then you realize that she knows the difference between desire and distraction. And then like at the end of the third book, when her and Peeta are like together, and then
you could see
all of a sudden she's like, and then this happened, and then we healed this, and then all of a sudden, I don't know how long after, I started feeling that like desire again for him.
she goes, oh my god, I fucking love her.
Oh my god.
So she goes,
This book.
her and Gail make out, right? That's a whole book later. Yep. And she, in that book, is just like, basically like gone. She's like, in the moment, right? And Gail's like, hey, what's going on? What are you thinking? And she's like, nothing. And he's like, then I don't want you like that. And that's when he says, it's like being drunk. Mm. And then if you contrast, this is what Katniss says, organically. So she goes, Peeta and I sit on the damp sand, facing away from each other, my right shoulder and hip pressed against his. After a while, I rest my head against his shoulder, feel his hands caress my hair. This is when they have like the conversation of like, Katniss, if you die and I live, there's no life for me back in District 12. No one really needs me. And then she goes,
confused,
yeah, she goes, I do, I need you. He looks upset. Then he's like talking about Prim. Or she's like, he's going to talk about Prim, so let me kiss him. And then she goes, so before he can talk, I stop his lips with a kiss. I feel that thing again. The thing I only felt once before in the cave last year when I was trying to get Haymitch to send us food. I kissed Peeta about 1,000 times during those games and after, but there was only one kiss that made me feel something stir deep inside. Only one that made me want more, but my head wound started bleeding and he made me lie down. This time, there is nothing to interrupt us, and after a few attempts, Peeta gives up on talking. The sensation inside me grows warmer and spreads out from my chest, down through my body, out along my arms and legs to the tips of my being. Instead of satisfying me, the kisses have the opposite effect of making my need greater.
Yep.
I thought I was something of an expert on hunger, but this is an entirely new kind. Like, she never, I'm so stupid because like when I was reading this, granted I was a kid, but like when I was reading this, I was like, who is she gonna pick? And it's like,
I mean, no, I was the same way. I'm like, what is she gonna do?
Yeah, I was like, please, I love him so much, pick Peeta.
Which is so funny because it's like, it's not really a love triangle. It's not, but it's kind of like one of the first ones that we engaged with. Mm-hmm. So
how do you feel about love triangles?
I think I'm going to use your quote from last time we talked about it, where you were like, I only like them if they end up with the right person.
I like them when I win.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if you ever read this book in high school, but I read this book, which was like...
Pretty?
No.
Okay. The one I wanted did not win, so I fucking hate those books.
Okay, so no. There was another one that was more fucked up.
Twilight.
No.
I'm kidding.
I didn't even fucking think about that one. But no.
Okay. It's because I saw them back there and I was like, did you read Midnight Sun?
I did. Of course I fucking did.
Did you like it?
It was the same. Okay. This is what bothered me about Midnight Sun.
Okay.
Side plot. Uh-huh. What I didn't like about Midnight Sun is that we got the same exact story with very little background on Edward.
You know what it would have been a good one is
it drove me crazy.
If you had seen his perspective in New Moon because he fucks off.
But even if Twilight could have been, if he would have given me more like, I don't even know, like more background into who he was. He was hundreds of years old, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Like something.
Which like, why are you dating like a 16-year-old?
I mean, but that's a conversation with a lot of vampires.
I know, but like, why?
I don't know.
Side note. I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear like these like leggings that don't match because they're not gonna see it on camera. Hello.
Okay, because I did the same thing, but I don't think
you're wearing black. That matches.
Oh, fair. Okay, so where I was going with this is, I don't know how we got into the triangle.
We were talking about the beach scene and how like she's
okay.
And how
so here's the
like,
thing.
We couldn't tell who she was gonna be in.
Okay, yes. So we had read like love triangles. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's not like the worst. But what I'm trying to go through is kind of the evolution of in between the lines. Katniss is letting you know, like, oh, with Peeta, it becomes desire, and then it's like such a different explanation with Gale in the third book that like the reader is like,
oh, this is the
I just want of her life. And also I want a distraction, but there's no passion, there's no heat, there's no like desire.
Like, can I just say she's only ever kissed Peeta, and we don't know how far they went, but it doesn't seem like really anything other than
Because
kissing.
Finnick woke up and was like, "You all need a moment."
No, but I mean, like, she's had very little experience, right?
Yeah.
So for her to be like, I need a distraction, so she starts making out with Gale, I'm like, girl, that's how you could tell she's fucked up in the third book.
I know.
So
like
fucked
she doesn't
up.
know where to like. She turned to alcohol for a bit in the second book, maybe like once or twice.
I think it was once, but yeah.
But like she was like, yeah, that ain't it for
She's
me.
like, that shit sucked.
Fuck that.
So then she turns to hiding in vents.
I want to, girl. So I want to just do a side note with that's very, very important for me. When we see this of her kind of having this desire and whatnot, and how she's so innocent because there's no experience. It just, I want to bring up the elevator scene in Catching Fire.
I love that.
Where Peeta, let's be real, Peeta's had action. Like, we know it. Like, he's like noticed other girls, other girls have noticed him. So we can assume that he's done something, right? And she has not. And he knows that.
You can tell that he's done stuff because when ella se desnuda, when Joanna gets naked, Peter's just like smiling. Like, he's not like, boobs, you know, like he's not like, I've never seen that before. Like, he's just like, this is funny.
He's like, oh.
And everybody knows Katniss has not had shit.
No, but that entire progression, like earlier when they're gonna go out in their little chariots, and then like Finnick is eating sugar cubes, and
Finnick is eating sugar cubes. Girl on fire, you want a sugar cube?
And Katniss is like, what the fuck is going on? Because she's so awkward.
Like, no.
She's like, I don't want anything from you. Like,
And she's like,
what, succubus?
You know what's funny about her is that, like, even though she's like, I don't know what's happening, she's still a bitch because she's like, and when do people pay for the company of your service? And he's like, secrets. You have any secrets, girl on fire? And he takes like a little sugar cube. And she's like,
and then she gets on this chariot, and Peeta's like, he's just messing with you. Right? And then the elevator scene where she's like fucking naked, and he's she gets a little
she
like
gets girlfriend.
Yeah,
she gets
she
girlfriend.
gives like, what are you looking at, Peeta?
She says it. She's like, I just know Peeta's grinning, and then like this girl Joanna leaves, and she looks at Peeta, and he's like ear to ear smiling, and she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you think that's funny? And he's like, he starts cackling, and she's just like she gets pissed as fuck.
But it's so attractive to me because like you recognize that he might have had some with other girls. He sees Joanna's a very pretty girl, whatever it is, but he only wants her, and he knows how innocent she is in that, you know?
I also love how like Peeta's not jealous because Finnick.
No, and that drives me crazy.
Finnick comes around her, and she's just like when Finnick is like, sugar cube, he has like a fucking trapo. Like, he has like a little like loincloth or like a net. He has like nothing on basically, and he's described as like beautiful, like Adonis, stunning.
I think they did such a great job with this casting.
I think so too. I think they did great job with everybody's casting.
Fair.
The only thing is that like I obviously like Katniss was supposed to be like tan, but I was like, that doesn't matter to me. I don't really give a shit.
No, me either.
The only reason that I was like, and where are your gray eyes, bitch? But again, I think Jennifer Lawrence did a great portrayal of her.
No, I think she did great.
I think of Peeta, Gale, Haymitch. I think of all of them, and I picture the actors.
Same.
So I think they did a great job. And even if they don't look exactly like them, because Haymitch is supposed to have dark hair, they embodied.
He could not have been someone else.
They embodied them so well that it's like, you became Haymitch. You became
Haymitch
Peeta.
could not be any other actor.
You fucking became Gale. Anyways, crybaby. Anyways, I loved how like, so Peeta sees like this like literally like model of a man, biceps ripped with a net on, like, and he's like flirting with Katniss, and he's just like, oh, what did he want? And she's like, he wanted to know my secrets, and he's like laughing. He's like, okay. And he's like, come on, let's get on the chariot.
She's so dumb. He wanted my secret. She's like, what secret? Has Snow sent him?
She's just like, I'm gonna kill him first. Like, Katniss is so like this is and
Which,
again
when they get in the games, she's like, I'm gonna have to kill him now.
yeah, she's literally
And he's like,
I love that shit. I love that. Bitch climbs up, looks at all the death, and she's like, Finnick dies now. And she comes down, and Finnick's like, what'd you see up there? He's like, I know what the
you want.
fuck you're thinking, bitch.
Yes, I fucking love
And
that.
I also do love that they form a friendship. Like,
Yeah.
I love the friendship between Finnick and Katniss.
The bonding of Katniss and Finnick in the hospital and
Even-
how she snaps out of it.
Even in the second book, towards the end, she's like, fuck, I don't want to have to kill Finnick. Like, I like him now.
Yeah. Where he, like, she notices, like, the longer I spend with these people that are, like, really going through it because you already won your games and you're fucking back here again to get tortured, basically. She's like, no one wants to be here.
And Katniss is just, I love her, but she's just such a bitch. And that's what I love about her because, like, when Madge, like, when he's, like, protecting Madge, she's like, why? For what reason? Like, she's not just like, oh, that's nice of him. She's like, no, there's a reason. What are you doing? Like, she's cynical. And I love that about her.
100% paranoid, too. She's
Super
like,
paranoid.
everybody
And rightfully
here.
so.
Yeah. Everybody here has a purpose. And the purpose is to fucking kill me.
Yeah.
You know? The purpose, you are all here to fucking kill me, and I don't give a fuck if you kill me.
Always.
But I'm gonna kill you all first so that Peeta can get the fuck out of here.
When Peeta hits the force field, and then, like, Katniss is like, Peeta! And Finnick is like, move, and she, like, tries to, like, get in.
Yeah.
Does Finnick not, like, shove the shit out of her, punch or something?
Shove
Doesn't he,
her.
like, fucking, that bitch hits, like, a tree.
Shove
She's
her.
Like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
And in the movie, she's like, hi.
Yeah,
I was
100%.
like, girl, that's not
fucking
what happened.
hilarious.
She gets fucked up.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. I love how their relationship goes because they're very similar in that, like, Finnick is like, you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill you first. Like, he's like, what's up then?
They're very, like, show up.
Yep.
They're very show up. They're very show up because they've got people to protect.
Yeah.
I know. Can't even.
So
We already cried
anyways,
enough. So here's the thing, right? So then that happens. And she's like, I have to get Peeta out of this. And when I look back and I reread this, because I don't know, at this point we reread this series like a fucking million times. But what I think is even more hilarious to getting her insight is that she's the only one outside of the joke. Because everybody's like,
Literally.
bitch, we're trying to fucking help you.
Her and Peeta, though.
Snap it.
Peeta tampoco no sabía nada.
No sabía nada, but at least he was more like normal, you know?
Because Peeta's, here's the thing.
He's more
She's
trusting.
the black cat and he's the golden retriever.
100%.
So he's like the one that, like, you know, you're,
We're friends.
yeah, like he's the one that, like, hey, neighbor. And she's like the dark shadow at the door, like, get aside. You know, like,
It's like, get a fucking inside. Stop fucking talking.
Stop talking to people.
Are we the same person with our marriages? Okay, same.
yeah. But anyways,
so I guess my point here is you get to the situation, right, where everybody's trying to save them. And Katniss is very like, fuck y'all. But then she starts liking them and she starts like really feeling like, what's it fucking hilarious? I don't know. Suzanne Collins just wrote this in a great way because in the whole Catching Fire book, Katniss is also like, why are they helping me?
Yes, she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Like,
and
why
she
did
even
Madge
talks to Peeta about it. She's
sacrifice
like,
himself?
something is going on. And
Yeah.
Peeta's like, yeah, this is fucking weird.
Like, why does Madge sacrifice herself? Why did this bitch, like, literally jump in front of you? Like, what's going on here? Why did Joanna show up with bolts and wires?
You know, Katniss is so consistent. One thing that you can count on is that Katniss is going to be Katniss. Because in the first book, Peeta, she talks about how, like, he threw her bread, and so she was indebted to him, and then how the careers tried to kill her, and so now she's extra indebted to him, and she's pissed, right?
Yeah.
In the second book, Finnick saves Peeta. She's like, fuck! She's like,
Literally?
now I owe him. Fuck!
Fuck! What am I going to do now?
She's like, great. Fucking great. And she's like,
Yes.
I hope a tidal wave takes him out and I don't have to fucking kill him. Like, she's just like pissed. Like, she's like,
he can swim.
fucking bitch.
Fuck, what
and
are we
it's
going to
funny
do?
because, like, Peeta revives and she's like hovering over Peeta and she's like staring at Finnick like, fuck you. And he's like staring at her back like, bitch. And she's like, I hate him. Now I owe him. He
So
fucking
it's
saved
because,
Peeta.
and the thing is that, like, if you were to get the background into any of these characters, they're probably thinking, why is this bitch so fucking difficult?
They would be
if we're
like, oh
trying
my
to
God,
save
you're
her?
feral, girl. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, is this who we're spanking the rebellion on. So anyways.
You know what's funny too is like the people that she liked were nuts and bolts, right?
Bolts and wires.
Bolts and wire, yeah.
Yeah.
I always get it wrong. Virus and Beatty.
Yeah.
And Beatty is probably like the one who knew the most of all the tributes. And once they get rescued, Beatty has very few interactions with her. And the one that she really bonds with is the one that she was like, fuck him off rip. So her judgment and character is not that great. She meets Joanna and she's like, fuck you, bitch. And like Joanna brings like the two, Beatty and Wyrus, and she's like,
that's
don't
the other
do that to her.
confusion. That's the other confusion. Like, I brought them because they were important to you.
I got them for you.
And Katniss is like, the fuck?
Yeah. And then Peter's like, I don't know. You said you wanted them on your team. Maybe like that's her.
Yeah, I just love how confused they were the entire time. When you reread it, you're like, this fucking people look so funny.
How their love was so prominent in the second one, starting with the train.
You know what's hilarious too is that at one point Finnick is doubting that, and then when Peeta almost dies,
you see the confusion in his face because Katniss clocks it.
Exactly, and Peeta actually like might die from the force field, and when he comes back, and Finnick's like,
he's like, oh, interesting.
This might be real. And Kat's like, what the fuck are you confused by?
No, she's like, fucking bitch, fucking. She's just like so, she's spiraling.
Fucking love her.
I love that bitch.
Fucking love her. So,
she's amazing.
Catching Fire was such a necessary fucking book.
10
10 out of 10.
12 out of 10. Because I think they were all 10 out of 10s.
Honestly. Catching Fire, right? We are...
You were saying how like you love how Peeta starts vocalizing.
Vocalizing. It's like very much like you start realizing like, oh, okay, he's fallen, but she's falling. He's fallen, but she's
You think
falling.
he recognizes that?
For sure.
Really?
For sure. I think he recognized it from the second he got off the train in the first Hunger Games where he's like, so you're with me, right?
Yeah,
he's
you know what? He is so emotionally intelligent.
Yeah. And she's like, the fuck? And he's like, oh, damn. You a good actress, huh?
I fucking love Peeta. Oh my god.
When he's like, oh, like you don't hold me. Anyways, whatever.
Wait. What did he say? Tell me. I want to.
When he's like, oh, I won't hold you to anything. And you're like, no, please.
But do
hold her.
Hold me.
You know?
Hold me to it.
So this is the next part. Actually, this is very important because we skipped over this. In Catching Fire, so many of these train rides, they're sleeping together and cuddling. And, like, nothing ever happens past that. Like, there's nothing romantic or sexual. But you start realizing, like, there's something so much more important, which is intimacy. Like, they're just holding each other through this absolute fucking nightmare.
Yes.
And he's amazing. Like, and that's the thing about Peeta. Like, look how much by the third book they're in love. Okay? Never once asked for anything physical.
Oh
Not that they had a lot of time,
oh my
but
God. No, but look, he's a fucking guy. Okay,
he's a fucking guy.
If you've
He's like in
ever
peak
been interested in a
adolescence.
guy, you know that is they very quickly go there.
Yep.
And Peeta he's a fucking teenager. He's 16, 17. Those
Who's
motherfuckers
also done
will hump a
things.
pillow. Like boys at that age are so like interested in that. And Peeta, obviously, he's written from a female perspective. So like I'm sure any guy is like, oh, that's not realistic. But I don't give a fuck. Peeta's
I think it's
realistic in my
very
mind.
fucking realistic.
I think it's super realistic. Be better. And so Peeta is just so like selfless. It all comes back to that. It's like Peeta is like, I will be and do anything you need me to be as long as it helps you.
Yeah.
I fucking love him.
He's literally, I'll be whatever you want.
Yes, and I know we already said this, but like honestly, I usually like the dark hair, the rebellious, the
rough.
asshole, like the rough around the edges. Like I like that shit. I love enemies to lovers, but Peeta just did something to me that I don't usually like the blonde guys.
I agree.
I don't usually like
No,
the
he
sweet.
was definitely the different one. Yeah.
Like he is the outlier. He was so well written. He was so amazing.
10 out of 10.
And you know what I think helps is that, yes, Peeta is all those things. He's amazing. He's sweet. He's this. He's that. But he's also like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Because when Katniss tries him randomly, he's like, fucking chill.
I love that.
Like when she hides that shit about like Snow.
Oh, about like,
he's
yes.
pissed.
He's like, excuse me?
He's like, what the fuck?
Who
You don't
the-
think I
yeah.
deserve to know that shit? And mind you, he's desperately in love with her.
But you know what's really great about this is that he's stepping in knowing like, okay, I'm not like fierce like you, but I'm strong in ways that you're not, and don't fucking cut me out of fucking decisions.
No, and regardless of like, it doesn't matter. I deserve to know shit. Period.
Correct.
It's I have people, and like it's funny because like he spends his life saying like, oh, my family doesn't give a fuck about me. I don't give a fuck about them. But he's like, but chill, like something like that. Like I get to make a decision over what happens
Exactly.
to them.
Exactly.
I fucking love that. Like I think part of what makes me love Peeta so much is that like he's also not like this pushover. Like he
No.
stands up for himself.
Correct.
He will like like shoulders back.
But
like,
listen, in a way, it's like the perfect guy.
it is.
It is, because here's the thing. In our novels, we like the rough around the edges, but we're
And
going to
like,
clock
get,
him.
get
Who?
fucking
What?
real. Who the fuck are you talking to like that? And somebody on TikTok, so many fucking people on TikTok will be like, what I read in the book, sit down and shut the fuck up. And then it's like what I would do in real life. And it's like a bitch being like, bang.
100%. That's why Peeta is a perfect representation of what we actually mean. Where
Strong
he
and
lets us,
kind.
yes, where he lets you be a woman and lets you do your crazy shit.
But
And then at
fucking
one
calm
point
down.
you're like,
Yeah, he checks her.
like, you know, come on, you know. So I love that.
I love that. Whereas, and I don't want to get into like the Gale debate, but like in no, like seriously though, like in terms of like a relationship, like he's very abrasive with Katniss. No, like he is understanding of her too. I know that, but I just mean like in terms of like you said it last time, like where like if she's in a vent hyperventilating, is fucking Gale gonna go and be like,
No, he's gonna be like,
"Sale la mano"?
Yo.
No, and right, he's gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of there! What the fuck are you doing?"
yeah,
And
for
like
sure.
Peeta is the type who will like squeeze into the vent and like hold her and like cry together.
or like,
Come, Katniss,
yeah.
come out. Like, let's
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
I have your favorite cheese bread out there.
but like, side note, right? Like, Peeta would have never let her be in fucking vents by herself, and everybody else fucking
Well,
did.
he would have been in that hospital with her.
Fair, but like,
No, like
Yeah.
sleeping in that bed with her.
oh yeah, 100%.
Like not like like he
No,
would have
no,
been like,
yeah.
I will be where you need me to be.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Okay. So
One of the
I
things
need
that I love the most about him is that he's so like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. Like I don't give a fuck about like like he does care about the rebellion, but he's just like, I don't care about the games. I don't care about this. I care about you.
it's secondary to
Yeah, he's
my
like,
love for you.
I
Yeah.
love you. And
Yep.
and by the ways, this is a trait they share because Katniss is very like, I don't give a fuck about the rebellion. I give a fuck about my sister.
family.
I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about this. I give a fuck about Peeta. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about Gil. Like Katniss and him do share that quality where they're very
I
like,
agree.
I care more about this person than the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Okay.
Any more thoughts on
So-
Catching Fire?
No.
Okay, so now we're going into the book that I rips my soul apart.
This rips my soul apart. So Peeta's
Fucking
gone.
hate the majority of the situation with Peeta in this book. It was a great book,
So here's the thing.
but
It is such an emotional. So, yes, we have a lot to say with that, but this is the book that truly Haymitch really steps into. Prior to this, Haymitch was always kind of like in the first book, I'm bringing this in for a reason. Haymitch is the drunk mentor in the first one that magically saves Katniss because they are able to connect in the way that they're both fucked up in that same way. And then in Catching Fire, he's like, well, look at this. And he promises Katniss, I'm going to save him. And he promises Peeta, I'm going to save her. But by this point, he already knows what the fuck he's up to. So fuck him. Move on. In the third book, right? He knows he's fucked up with her. Peeta's gone. Katniss wakes up.
you're gonna make me cry.
She is wailing. And there's nothing anyone can do because he's gone.
Stop.
I know, me too. But here's the thing. She knows, there's a part of her that knows that Haymitch is kind of useless because he's going through withdrawals. She leans on Finnick. They're both kind of going through it.
Love that.
But as the reader, I'm like genuinely fucking petrified as to what the fuck they're doing to Peeta.
I was so distraught.
Distraught. Like, we know that they do like beastly shit. They do fucking avoxes.
Yeah.
They do, which, side note, when in this Catching Fire, when she finds the guard from 12 as an avox, and Katniss is like, what the fuck? Snow totally sent him.
Dude, that shit was so fucked up. Oh my God. And then the moment where she's like eating dinner and she drops something and he goes to grab it for her and she holds him and like squeezes his hand and he squeezes it back and they look at each other. And it's like this silent communication where she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, and he's just looking at her and they just understand each other. Bro, that shit was so tragic and sad. It was such, it was great, but I was like, why did you do that? Like, to Suzanne Collins.
But then you see the absolute.
It was a very realistic thing, I think, that would happen in like a fucked up environment like this.
We haven't touched upon, but like the absolute torture master that Snow is. Which is another thing. But anyways, I'm clearing the field for my next point, which is Peeta's gone.
Like, really gives me so much anxiety.
Peeta's gone. So now we're gonna step into a little bit of like Katniss and Haymitch, because Peeta's gone for like probably like half of Mockingjay. And for me, and you know this, right? But one of the most important interactions between themselves is that they're kind of, for a while, kind of like rubbing each other's shoulder, but like kind of like there's things that have not been said. And then they finally say it. And she's like...
I think it's like one of their first interactions, actually.
Yeah.
Because like Haymitch disappears.
Yes.
Well,
that's what I mean. Like,
Katniss claws his face at the end of the second book, which... That's my girl, bro. I fucking love her.
She's like, where is he? And he's like, nowhere. And she's like, you fucking...
She says, I say some of the worst things that you can say to someone. And then she says, I think she says that they say it to each other. And then she's like, she claws at his face, rakes it.
Yeah, which he has scars on forever.
Well, I'm not mad.
Me either.
I don't like. I love Haymitch. I do, but I'm not mad about that.
I do love Haymitch.
Yeah,
I love Haymitch because he's actually the perfectly morally gray.
I love Katniss by herself and their interactions. Like,
I love them, but like morally gray in the sense that like he's so fucked up, but you kind of pity him because he's so fucked up.
But he's fucked up.
But he's so fucked up.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with it. Like, here's what I mean. Like, I love her individually and I love him individually. But when they scuffle, I don't even care. Like, I don't pick a side. I'm not like, why would you say that? Why would you do that? Like, when Haymitch is like, when she's in District 2 and he's like, get back in the ship and she rips it out and fucks off.
Fuck you.
And he's like, listen to me. If you ever do that shit again, I'm gonna fucking put like a whole head brace on you, and if you take the head brace off, I'm gonna put a helmet on you, and if you take the helmet off, I'm gonna put a chip in your fucking brain. You got me? And she's like, and like normal, like
but
if I didn't like him, I would have been like, fuck you.
That's his only way of describing that. Like, look, this has been debated for basically a decade. The difference between Haymitch knowing that Katniss is a pawn versus Haymitch actually does care about Katniss. But for me, I choose to believe both. Exactly. So for me, it's his way of being like, he cannot outright tell her like, hey, I care for you, but he is showing her like, do not fuck with me.
No, I think it's not that hard. Well, in my opinion, I don't think it's that hard to interpret that he cares about her. I think it's just that I think, okay, so for example, in the last book, at the end, one of the terms of her going back home is that Haymitch goes with her, right? And she's like, I have a very strong feeling that they did not fucking want him in the Capitol anyways. But whatever, he goes with her and then like disappears. She could have like died, right?
Oh my God,
and he just disappears.
Yep.
But whatever. Katniss gets better. Peeta's around. They start getting like, they start moving forward together, and she creates this book of all the people that have died.
And he didn't want to do it at first.
But
then
what this tells me is like Haymitch is coming around, right?
Yeah.
Haymitch is spending time with her. And like, does he need to? No.
No.
I think that
he's stepping in a different way.
I think for Haymitch, I don't know his story, but he was raped, I'm assuming, as a teenager. And
Guys, by the way, we still have not read the prequels. I'm like 60% through Snow's book, which is, but
yeah, I'm like 0.1% through.
okay.
Like I pulled the book out of my shelf.
Oh God. I keep convincing. Bitch,
I'm
I
gonna
think I'm
read
just
it.
gonna
I'm
get
gonna
you a
read it.
Kindle for your birthday.
It's not that. It's just that, okay, so I will like binge read multiple books in a row. And then like when I have to change formats, like it's like
A struggle.
I have to shift gears because I'm so
Deep into the other
Right.
world. I hear you.
That's what happened to me with Throne of Glass and then
Yeah.
shifting gears to Fourth Wing. Remember? Like I was
Oh.
like, oh, I just like I'm chasing another high, and you were like,
That's a-
good luck, bitch.
Yeah.
You're like, try Fourth Wing, it's good, but it's not like
I
it's
felt
not
it
like-
right now when you were like, if you went from Throne Glass to Fourth of Wing,
Yeah,
I don't even know what to tell you. But
I know,
here's the
but
thing.
I'm just saying, like that's the thing.
Also,
Like I
though-
read this trilogy that is so deep in my heart. Like this is, I'm not joking. Like this is one of my favorite series of all time.
Same.
Yours too. Like
Yeah.
it's something that I can read it multiple times and
A
feel
million
happy
times.
every single time I read it.
100%.
And like
It's home.
for me to switch from like that high to something else, it me está costando trabajo.
Yeah, I know.
So it's that. It's not this. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna start reading it probably.
But
tomorrow
you don't
or
know
something.
how unstoppable you are with a Kindle. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I know.
You can pull that shit. I have a Kindle app. I have the Kindle.
I know.
I read all day.
I know. I'm probably gonna end
Literally.
up doing that at some point.
Okay.
But
So
anyways, so
So here's the thing. I'm setting this up. I really want to go through one of my most important interactions with Haymitch, which is when they finally he goes into the room and he's like, okay, say what you got to say. And she's like, I can't believe you didn't rescue him.
I love that part. And then he's like, and I can't believe
and I can't believe
you let him out of your
let
sight.
him out of your sight.
Which is crazy because it was, you know what I picture with that? I picture Haymitch watching and them splitting up and he's like, no, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
See him lose his fucking shit because he knows that he's going to rescue the Mockingjay.
Why did they
But ain't
split them
gonna
up?
be no Mockingjay there.
Well, actually, I think I know why they split them up.
Well, okay, so I'm interested in hearing that, but for me, I think that they knew that they were going to be rescued, but I think that there was a hiccup in their plan.
Which was?
Wasn't it that the lightning was not hitting right? What the fuck happened then? Why did they split them up?
So they coiled the like thing around the tree. And then they were like, okay, so now we need to take the coil down to the ocean. So like Joanna and Katniss, you go. And I think the intention was like Joanna cut that shit out of her arm.
Okay,
And then
for sure.
I think the reason they split them up was because I think they could tell that they were about to dip. So I think they were like, if these two fuckers stay with Beetee, they're gonna fucking run. They might kill Katniss. Might kill Beetee. If they don't trust Katniss. Katniss is very like, she's a wild card. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna get with her sometimes. So I think
doesn't know the plan.
right.
Which is
And they know
hilarious
that.
to me
And they
because
know
side
that.
note, because they know that. And I don't understand how I would ever be in cahoots with that because I'd be like, this like extremely difficult woman doesn't know the plan and I'm going to sacrifice my life for this bitch.
I think it speaks to their desperation to be done with this fucking bullshit with the Capitol. I mean, you got to remember, these people have been through some shit because they're victors of years and they've been put through so much by the Capitol. So I think at this point, they're just like, I can't believe that a rebellion is finally happening.
Am I out drinking you for the first time ever?
I don't think you are.
I think I am.
Bitch, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but we're at the same, but you haven't drank that glass.
Okay, but I'm gonna. Like, shut the fuck up.
Just saying,
It's because I'm really into Shut up.
am I like better now?
I think you are. Are you beating me?
I'm feeling buzzed.
Oh my god, you really like the Trivino whatever one?
Dude, it's fun.
Oh no, that's a different one. I thought that was
We're so Hispanic.
Trapiche. I was like, Travino? You got Travino?
Travino. I've heard that one too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
so
just, looking and I'm like, by the way.
oh yeah.
So Carla and I.
Novilo.
I am a very red wine.
She's a red queen. She's a red queen.
but like strictly Malbec. I'll do some.
I thought you liked red
Cabernets.
blends.
No, I fucking hate red
Really?
blends. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you liked red blends. Am I a fake friend? What the fuck?
No, because I like had like an existential crisis when I'm like Chardonnay, and you're like, I fucking hate Chardonnay.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm like,
hate
wait a
any
minute,
fucking-
the fuck.
I hate any of that bubbly shit. No offense.
So, I am strictly a Malbec lover, and
You
Carla.
don't like Merlot?
No, I mean, there's been a couple that I'm like, okay, but I am Malbec
Honestly,
first.
I like most red wines. My favorite is Cabernet, but
Okay, I fuck with Cabernet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am mostly a Malbec because what I find about, I don't know fucking shit about wine, by
same,
the way.
same.
But what I find about Malbecs is that I find them very uniform. Like, I find the taste very much like I enjoy.
Consistent?
Yes, consistent.
Okay.
Like, I'm very, like, they're very, like, dry, but not patchy to me.
I
Where
like
I find Cabernets have a lot more
puckeriness.
range.
Okay.
Like, there's some Cabernets that I like, and there's some Cabernets that I'm like, ugh.
So I like most red wines. I prefer Cabernet,
Okay.
but I'm a puckery bitch. Like I like when I drink wine to be like I like a dry wine. I have never been a white wine girl, but I don't know who or when. I think after so many social interactions where there was like only white wine because like
Yeah.
during the day people will only usually drink white wine, which I fucking hated. I found Sauvignon Blanc. I'm saying that wrong. Sorry, French
Yeah.
people or wherever the fuck that's from. And
Latin as fuck.
I know, sorry. To me this is
Sauvignon
Sauvignon Blanc.
Blanc.
But anyways, I found it and I was like, wow, this is actually like a dry wine that's white. And the only difference is that like I feel like it's not as heavy like in my stomach as a red wine. So that's why I like it more lately.
So, I don't think I'll ever get into white wine, but
you
I
even
won't
tried it?
hate it.
You haven't tried
A long
it?
time ago.
Can you try it?
No.
Please.
Ugh.
Un buchecito.
Ugh.
Un buchecito.
Fine.
Thank y'all. Peer pressure. Just try it.
Oh shit.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's a dry white
So here's
wine.
the thing. I find it instantly sweeter than red.
It is.
And
It
I'm
is.
usually a sweet person, but with my
Not with
wine,
wines.
I'm not.
I agree.
Yeah. So anyways, just wanted to give you a quick like side view as to like the wines that we're drinking. So Haymitch's interaction in the clinic with Katniss, and she was like, okay, I can't believe you didn't rescue him. And he's like, I can't believe you let him out of your sight. Fucking gold for me. I was just like, right in the fields. What the fuck do you even do with that? Because they're both right. So then you move on to this whole idea of him being like, okay, so let's say that there's nothing that they could have really done, right? They were both just in a fucked up situation. They needed to get her separated to like cut her tracker out. But what's the point of getting him separated? Because wasn't the idea of getting him out
I
too?
think that they started to pick up on that, like, okay, Katniss and Peeta are like kikiing in the corner. They're being like more, they don't know the plan, right? And they're being like, they're separating themselves more from the group. And I think they started to feel like, okay, if we leave Katniss and Peeta with Beetee, remember, they don't fucking trust Katniss. They don't know her. They're like, I don't know what this bitch is going to do. So we got to split them up. We got to take the tracker out of the Mockingjay because she's the priority. And if we can get to Peeta next, we will.
And if we
But
can't,
priority is Katniss.
we got her out. Yeah.
What we don't know is what the fuck happened over there. Because we never find out what happened with Finnick and Beetee and Peeta.
Yeah. No.
We only find out...
Because Finnick and Joanna are rescued.
But Finnick never talks about it.
I know. But
And
what the
Katniss
fuck
is never like,
happened
what the
with
fuck
Peeta?
happened? Which,
Exactly.
ella no es chismosa. Because I would have been like, every detail now
Bro,
from
that
beginning to
drives
end.
me crazy.
I know.
She's like not asking enough questions. Gives Violet with the gray hair.
The fucking idiot.
Okay. And so then she wakes up in 13.
Mm-hmm.
We get introduced to Coin. Fuck this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've already talked through kind of like the Katniss and the vents. And I think it's just important to highlight like how absolutely distraught she was over Peeta. Here's my question for you. How come they didn't try to rescue him earlier.
Who, Peeta?
They waited
well,
for so many earrings of him like talking shit.
I think Plutarch mentioned that like once they rescued Peeta, they needed to take all of Plutarch's informants out. So if they had rescued him earlier, it would have essentially just like crippled them in the sense of like intel. I think that they rescued Peeta
So
when
they
they
had
realized that Katniss will not go on as the Mockingjay
Yep.
because she's scared of her
Okay,
Peeta's
so
life.
they were trying to keep conversations flowing.
Yes, they wanted more information,
So
like
they
what's
knew
going
that
on
if
in the
they
Capitol.
went and rescued him, there would be no more.
They would have to
like,
pull out the informants because obviously they'd be like, how did they know where Peeta would be?
For sure. They were going to like put two and two together.
Right.
Okay. So I want to take us to this moment where. Okay.
I love that you have your notes and I haven't read them, so I don't know what the fuck you're about to tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
She comes onto the podium with Coin, and she's like, "You're gonna pardon every motherfucker I say."
Love that.
And I get to kill Snow. What's interesting to me is that Coin was like, "I guess we'll battle that out," because she fucking hates Snow.
Right.
I think for me, Katniss underestimated Coin.
Absolutely.
Underestimated her because she saw her at this dumb pond, and I know I've said this before. One of my favorite quotes of this book was Snow's in the rose garden after, where he's like, "I was looking at you, Mockingjay, and you were like looking at me, and no one was looking at Coin."
Yeah, I agree.
And I fucking love that quote
I think
because
what it does is also shed a light on something that's been hinted at throughout the book that we haven't focused on, because in the book we're reading through Katniss' perspective and she's freaking the fuck out about Peeta, and Gail's bringing shit to her about like loving her, and she's worrying about like and Peeta and Peeta and Peeta and I want to kill Snow and this, and like you're just very overwhelmed in the book with feelings. So as a reader, you're not looking at Coin either. I mean, unless you are
you're
outside
not.
of the
You're
box.
literally making you're literally looking at this, which is what the intention was. This like rando that wants to be the king, basically, and ain't shit.
Right. And like you're emotionally invested already because you've been looking at Finnick for like a whole book, and now he's like tragically like this and like that. And like now there's this shit with Haymitch and Katniss and Peeta, and you've fallen in love with Peeta and catching fire. And so like you as a reader are invested in other things.
Yep.
And when Coin, you're like, yeah, she's a bitch, fuck her. When she's around, you're kind of just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're not reading into the shit that she's saying or doing.
No. And it's even interesting.
Until Boggs is like, don't go back.
Do not trust anybody.
Don't trust anybody. And then he's the one who says, he's like, who would you pick to be the president? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, if your immediate answer is not Coin, you're a threat.
Correct.
That's
she knows that.
And by the way, it's like towards the end of Mockingjay, that's when you start seeing like, wait. So like, and then right before that, Peeta gets dropped off, and it's like, hold on. So Coin is playing this whole other fucking ball game, which you get the vibe from her the whole book that she's shysty, nasty, fucking like, ew.
She wants the Mockingjay to run her ship the way that she's running it. And the second that she realizes she can't control Katniss, she starts doing a protection plan to get the fuck rid of Katniss. Yep. She wants a martyr.
Once Katniss has fulfilled her use, she's like, die.
Because she knows that a martyr is going to go the same way.
A martyr won't have a voice against her.
Yeah. And it will still propel her rebellion further, regardless. Okay. Let's talk about when Peeta comes back. They rescue him.
Oh my God. This part was really hard to read.
When
especially for the first time.
I know. When she goes
because
up to him.
What does she say? She's like, I go to Peeta and his arms are open to embrace me.
And then he fucking tries
and then she's like, and then his hands come around my throat. And that's it. And so like you get this image of her running to him, so
oh my God,
happy, and him opening his arms for her, and like you reading this for the first time
Oh my God.
are like, oh my God, finally.
Yeah.
And he loves her and they love each other, and only for him to choke her. It was, when I read it for the first time,
Yes.
threw me the fuck
They're
off.
going to reunite and they're going to be amazing. And then you're like, oh, fuck, what's wrong with him? Right? And then instantly, what does Katniss do?
Bro.
Disassociates. Fuck him. Like,
Immediately.
He's not. He's just like a capital mutt, basically.
That's what she says out loud.
I
And
know.
internally,
She's devastated.
yeah,
She's
she's
devastated.
destroyed. And she's still,
You know
so
what I
stupid,
find-
can't even fucking realize that she's in love with him.
I know. But this is one of the reasons why, like, I love both of them equally. But, like, Peeta has a special part of my heart because she cannot get around, because of her emotional maturity, she cannot get around to be there for him in the way that we fucking know Peeta would be for him, for her.
But I love when Haymitch puts it in perspective for her, where he's like, so Peeta gets taken to the Capitol with the Star Squad, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what the fuck is he doing here? And then that's when Boggs like calls Coin, and then he's just like,
Yeah, because Coin was sending him over to
kill her.
Katniss. Yeah.
And so Boggs is like, we're going to put him in handcuffs, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And like, Katniss, you cannot trust them. Like,
Yeah.
and then Peeta is like sitting there, and they're all talking about shifts and like alternating shifts. And Katniss is like, I want to take a shift. And they're like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if you could like shoot him if it comes to it. And she's like, I can. That's not Peeta. That's a mutt. And Haymitch is like, bring, bring. And he calls her. And she's like, what? And he's like, I'm curious. Are you trying to set him off? And she's like,
I fucking love him. Hey,
I'm just wondering.
in.
Like, or do you want him to kill
Are
you?
you trying to fuck around?
And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, Katniss, if you were hijacked, what would Peeta be doing right now? He would do anything and everything to bring you the fuck back. And what the fuck are you doing? And then like that's actually is like one of the turning points for her, where she's like, and I have a quote where she says, she's sitting there, Peeta's asking real or not real. And she goes,
Oh my God, that part. Stop.
She goes, I suddenly want to tell Peeta everything about who he is, about and who I am, and how we ended up here, but I don't know how to start. Worthless. I am worthless. And this is after Katniss tells him, like, your favorite color is orange. This, like, she tells him a few things, and then she's overwhelmed with this feeling of, like, I just want to tell him everything. But, like, she can reflect and be like, I fucking suck. Like, it's not like she's blind to the fact that, like,
she can't.
That Peeta, she treats him like shit. Like, he comes back and she treats him like shit. And Peeta is very hurtful. Like, he says to her when they're having lunch one day, he's like, I have quite a few memories about some train nights with you and me in the bed. Something like that. He doesn't get graphic, but he's like, I actually have quite a few memories of you and a train and sleeping together kind of thing in front of everyone. Gail's right there. Phoenix right there. Nobody knows that shit. That's a fucking secret. And, like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not saying that she's not in her right to be her.
Yeah.
But I am saying that, like,
he's not well.
He's not. And you know that. And they told you that he was hijacked and he was made to think that you're, like, this demon evil bitch.
He was fucking tortured.
And you saw how
And
thin he was when
know,
he got back.
He was fucking tortured and made to hate you when he fucking loved you before you could even realize it.
Bro, oh my God, I just got goosebumps because it's so tragic, because Katniss says at some point in Mockingjay after Peeta comes back, she's like, the only person who loved everything about me, everything about who I am and the way I am is gone. Like, he's not here anymore. He doesn't love me anymore. He doesn't love, and it's crazy because she says it again later on, where she's like, he sees all my flaws now. He sees everything wrong with me. And the old Peeta would like forgive and excuse anything and everything I did and said.
It's an ego death.
Bro, but it's so devastating because it's like Katniss like couldn't understand that she was feeling loved.
I know.
And like now it's gone. And now she feels destroyed by it.
Yes, she's destroyed because she didn't know what it was before.
And she still
but now
doesn't
that
know.
she still doesn't know.
She still doesn't
but
know.
she's feeling heartbroken.
Yes.
She's feeling like something has been taken away from her. So what does she do?
She
Revenge.
redirects. She's like, I'm
gonna
coming for
fucking
you,
kill Snow.
Yep. And she gets her shit together to train. Yeah. But and even it's so funny because like even when they're in the Capitol and they're at Tigress's like basement or whatever, and they're all like laying there, and Katniss is like she's awake and but she's like pretending to be asleep or just like laying there.
And he's talking to Gale.
The two of them are having a conversation, and Gail's like, "Oh, who do you think she's gonna pick?" And Peeta's like, "I don't fucking know," and like. Or maybe Peeta says it to Gale. I don't remember. But Gail's like, she's going to pick the one that she can't live without. And she, like, gets pissed. And she's like, I'm some fucking, like I fucking have to, like,
pick one.
I'm like, I'm a robot and have to pick somebody that I can't live without.
I know. But you know what I love about that interaction? Is that Gale I know you're going to say something, but I love that Gale's like, I don't stand a fucking chance if Peeta doesn't get his shit together.
I don't think he stood a chance ever.
I mean, never.
Now, after reading this, but
I do think it's so interesting to say it like that, to know that, like,
I kind of feel like that's telling, though. Like, it's like, if you already know that there's such stiff competition, like, if he doesn't get better, then it's like, is there really competition?
No. You just wanted to control the outcome and get your reward. I'm never going to say that Peeta isn't for Katniss.
I know.
I
but
just don't think
to diminish
bad.
Gale, I will.
Anyways, so Peeta's going through all this shit. Here's my next big part, right? Okay. Peeta gets dropped off. Direct fucking fight. Direct fire to Katniss. The message is clear. Coin wants you gone. Doesn't give a fuck how it happens. Right? Boggs dies. Gives her the whole thing. I fucking hated how she said bye to Peeta the first time. Which is where, like, they were going to leave Tigress's area. And he was like, I'm going to create a distraction. But she's so focused on, like, I might lose him. But I need to fucking end this. That whole fucking shit happens. Prim dies.
But wait, what does she do right before they leave? Doesn't she kiss Peeta?
Does she?
I'm pretty sure she does.
Let's see. The kiss occurs during a moment when Peeta struggles with the hijacking and the fear of harming Katniss to help Peeta regain his sanity.
That doesn't happen at Tigress's. That's my bad. That happens, like, in the middle of, like, after that black ink shit where Peeta throws somebody, which is...
Yes.
I think that's a pivotal moment for Peeta.
Fucking awful.
Because I think that's what kind of, like, makes him, when he sees himself
when
on the
he
TV
realizes, yes.
and sees what the fuck he did, he's like, I am a mutt. And that changes, which, oh my God. Okay, wait. So that's
why he
him.
sacrifices
I think it's a pivotal
him. Yep.
moment. I think it's a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
I think that is why he sacrifices himself. And then one part that, like, gave me the chills, and not like in a goosebumps, but like in a fucking creepy way, when they're underground and they're like going through all the sewers, right? And they're all sleeping. And then Peeta's like, what the fuck is that? And then, like, he's like, Katniss is, she hears her name. She hears, like, Katniss. And then Peeta starts chanting, Katniss, 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 with all those fucking other things. And Katniss is like, what the fuck is going on? And Peeta's like, Katniss, Katniss, Katniss. And he's like,
and then he's
we
like,
need to run.
We need to run.
Go.
Yup.
Dude,
yup.
That shit gave me the fucking chills.
I know.
That shit was scary.
That was scary.
It, like, was really one of those moments where I was sitting there with her. Like, I could see, like, the, like, black,
do you, like, fucking imagine you're in a fucking room with this person and he's like,
I would shoot him in the fucking face.
Qué fucking miedo.
Like, I could not.
Qué fucking miedo. Y además,
I would start crying.
He realizes he's a fucking mutt. That's why he sacrifices himself. After Tigress's thing, he's like, I'm not going to stay here and do nothing because I'm a liability. I cannot go with Katniss. But there's no hope for me. He literally feels hopeless. He literally feels like, I'm not going to stay here.
Katniss, like, he gives Katniss hope in the beginning.
I know.
And at the end, he has lost hope.
I know. Fuck.
I do think
You know what
though,
I love this part though around the hijacking is when she says something like she's trying to stay grounded, and she's like, stay with me, and he's like, always.
okay, but then that becomes a thing at the end of the book.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we have to get there at least.
What I will say is that I think if Coin had not sent Peeta, I don't think Peeta would have ever come back, because
Correct.
what changed him was what the fuck he
Yeah.
did and what he saw himself
Which is the best fucking part, because she meant to do this as
She wanted to kill Katniss,
Yeah.
and by taking Peeta there and bringing Peeta back, she brought Katniss back.
she brought Katniss back. Because then we need to move to the point, right? This whole thing happens. He tries to sacrifice himself as a distraction. Prim dies. The whole fucking thing blows up. She wakes up in the Capitol. She's in the mansion. Snow is, Coin's taking control. Katniss is going through the aftermath of her sister dying. Fucking basically events part 2. And then, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't seek out Peeta. I think the first time she sees him is at the meeting where everybody's gathered around.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, we want to make a Hunger Games for the Capitol kids. And Peeta's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what? Actually, so remember in our, I think, fucking first episode, you were like, I want to talk about Haymitch. Like, why did he agree with Katniss?
Why did he agree
And
with
then
Katniss?
we like lost track and we never
Yep.
got to it. Fitting that we come to it on the last episode
Love
of the
it.
trilogy. But I saw a theory online that was like, Haymitch was basically like he knew where Katniss was going with shit because of the way that he knows how to communicate with her.
Yeah.
And he felt like indebted to her for and catching fire, being like, yeah, I'll help you, and then fucking not. So
Yeah.
he saw Katniss, he saw her choice, and he chose like, I'm gonna side with you and make up for what I fucked up with, and I also think that you're gonna go in a different direction with this.
Yeah. I think that he knew that she wasn't going to follow through.
I think he did it out of guilt, personally.
Yes, but I also think that he knew that Katniss had an ulterior motive.
I think he could tell because at this point he knows her very well.
Yes, and she's totally disassociated in the way. She's like, I don't give a fuck.
But I don't even know if she knew what she was gonna do in that moment.
No, but we know she was in that meeting. She was like, I don't give a fuck what you guys decide because I already made my decision.
Right, but I don't think necessarily that Haymitch knew what her decision was. I think it more came out of like, he looked at her and he saw something in her that was like, there's something going on.
I think she was plotting.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that I think he looked at her
that.
and he knows her very well at this point.
Yeah.
I would honestly argue that he knows her much better than a lot of other people, including Gale, because he knows her in a way that nobody else does.
In a way that a survivor doesn't.
In a way that like to be able to communicate with her through sending her gifts and her understanding.
Oh, what do you want?
It's
from me?
something different. Yep. So they understand each other in a way.
It's a different connection.
That like not even Peeta understands her.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So like I think he saw something in her and he was like, I don't know where you're gonna take this because I don't think he knew what she was gonna do, but I see that there are gears turning, and I think he felt like I owe you something. Yeah. So I'm gonna side with what you want.
Yeah. I originally took that is what I think happened, but I also have like almost like a sinister like second perspective of like, she's not even in this room. She's already plotting ahead, and I need to be behind her because she's about to blow some shit up.
I don't know. I don't think that it was that deep for Haymitch, just because like I feel like at this point Haymitch is so like
tired.
Yeah. And I think that like honestly, I think he's had to think more than he's had to in a very long time, just because he's been drowning himself with booze.
Blockage. Yeah.
And so I think that it's been so long of him thinking, because it's been a lot. Like to think about being in a war, it's super intense.
For sure.
And like he was a pretty big part of at least the steps that took to get there.
He was in charge of the Mockingjay.
And he's seen like people that he cares about die, his friends that were
million people, yeah.
victors. Like he saw them die in the quarter quell, and like
And prior
whether
to
he
that.
has a fucked up relationship with Katniss or
know.
not, he loves her. And whether
know.
he is an asshole to Peeta or not, he loves him too. And so like he had to watch them go through shit, and like
Horrible.
I think that he's also like just worn out.
I
Like,
know.
I don't think that he has enough like give a fuck to be like, let me side with her because she's. And I think he also knows like Katniss is very like in the moment. She's gonna do something and that's it. She's not ever gonna be something that like she's never gonna be a leader. She's always
No.
gonna be like a
She's here to
reactionary
yeah, she's here to create
symbol.
the move.
Right. So I don't think logically, I don't think he'd be like, let me get behind Katniss because she knows what she's doing.
No.
I think he did it out of like, I
Okay.
owe this to you. And I also know that there's something else going on because I know you.
I agree.
And so I'm going to choose to put my faith in you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you what I owe you, which is at least a vote.
Something. Yeah. Okay, fair.
I also don't think Haymitch gives a fuck about the Capitol kids.
And then Katniss shoots coin.
She shoots the fucking arrow. I did not see that coming.
I did not see that coming.
And
Fucking
then Snow
shoots
choking on his blood.
laughing.
And then it's not even clear how he dies. Did he die?
I mean, people attack him.
But she says it's like it's not clear if it was because of like choking to death from blood or because of the people attack, which is, by the way, is insane that in this orchestrated, like controlled environment, you shoot coin and immediately people stampede on Snow.
Yep.
Almost
Insane.
as if like they were
Waiting.
Yes. Almost as if they weren't like,
You know why?
if they gave a fuck about coin, it would have been
didn't.
mayhem and they would have attacked Katniss.
Yep.
But what happened was,
They were with the Mockingjay.
right.
They didn't even think fucking twice.
Chills.
I know. She fucking shot coin and they were like, fuck her and fuck him. Destroy.
Yes.
They didn't even touch her. And what does she do? She tries to take the nightlock. Peeta fucking grabs her and he's like, the fuck? Are you fucking leave me after all this fucking shit?
Which is crazy because literally like a few pages before that, he was like, Katniss, 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 Katniss in the fucking vents.
I know. So, revolutionary for me. When I read and I put my arrow through coin and I'm like, what the fuck?
It was definitely like it shook me.
Such a satisfying end.
And it really was because both of them died. And then an election was held, which is what was like supposed to happen. I don't remember her name, but
Yes, the one that she recognized, this woman has a good head on her shoulders. She's here to improve the people. Love that.
And then they go home. Yep. Katniss first. And
She gets
then
excused.
Snickerdoodle.
Mija.
Snickerdoodle is una cucaracha that just keeps surviving.
Bro, this fucking cat has more lives than anybody in this fucking book.
Fucking Snickerdoodle comes in. And I never gave a shit about that cat. Like, I was always like, whatever, you're annoying.
I don't give a fuck about this cat.
Candace doesn't like you. I don't love you. And she made a good point. She was like, another fucking mouth to feed. And he's like mean to her. And I never gave a shit about Prim. So I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then in the second book, I was like, whatever. The fucking cat is back.
But in the third book.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. In the third book, I was like, yeah, the cat is back. Like when they were in District 13. And then they go home. She goes home. And Haymitch abandons her.
Yeah, they go home.
And
she knows that she's being
Saggy,
taken back to District 12.
Saggy May?
Gracie Say.
Saggy May.
Mía, ¿de dónde tú sacaste eso?
That's my third cup, okay? Crazy Say. I'm pretty sure I said this right at some point. Saggy May is crazy.
Booked and buzzing.
Booked and fucking buzzing, bro.
Listen. All right. Hold on.
Okay.
She gets fucking dropped off at District 12. There's literally no one left, barely, right? And I think sometimes we overlook the fact that she is distraught. does not answer the psychologist, does not do anything. And Gracie Say does the absolute most.
And I
saves her without any emotional bullshit. Just comes in, bitch, eat. I'm gonna make you this. I'm gonna make you that.
She's like, here and bye.
She is doing more than her own fucking mom did. Whatever, I'm not gonna get into that. But she is the sole reason she's surviving. I think some people do not realize that Katniss was there for months and had never changed out of her clothes.
That's insane too. And it's like, okay, so Peeta shows up, right? And there's like a noise outside and Katniss is like, what is that? And like, I don't know if she can tell like it might be Peeta or something, but like, you're going to tell me that in months there's been no noises outside of your house? No animals poking around? Nothing.
She feels something.
Right. So why the fuck does she get up?
Okay. Why does she go up? I will literally tell you because I literally highlighted this.
Okay.
So why does Katniss react, right? So she's having a nightmare. A terrible nightmare follows. She's lying in the bottom of a deep grave. Blah, 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 blah. I wake with a start. Pale morning light comes around the edges of the shutters. The scraping of the shovel continues. Still half in the nightmare, I run down the hall, out the front door, and around the side of the house, because now I'm pretty sure I can scream at the dead. When I see him, I pull up short. His face is flushed from digging up the ground under the windows. In a wheelbarrow are 5 scraggly bushes. You're back, I say. Dr. Aurelius wouldn't let me leave the capital until yesterday, Peeta says. So this motherfucker has been trying to leave the capital.
I know, and that resonated with me.
To get to her.
That resonated with me that she was by herself this whole time.
But
he was trying to come back to her this whole time.
Yep. He looks well, thin and covered with burn scars like me, but his eyes have lost the clouded, tortured look.
That's another thing, is the burn scars. Because, you know, who doesn't have them? Gale. Because he was like being carried away. And so it's like another fucking thing that connects the two of them, because he was in like the area in the line of the fire when the bombs got dropped.
I know.
And it's one of those things again that links her to him. Another piece of like trauma and bullshit that it's like, I share this with you.
Yep. Fucking best part. He's frowning slightly as he takes me in. Because he's looking at her and being like,
what does she do?
This bitch has not shut. Like, I make a half-hearted effort to push my hair out of my eyes and realize it's matted into clumps and I feel defensive. What are you doing? And he's like, I went to the woods this morning and dug these up for her. Mija. I thought we could plant them along the side of the house. I look at the bushes, the clods of dirt hanging from the roots, and catch my breath at the word rose. I'm about to yell vicious things at Peeta when the full name comes to me. Not plain rose, but evening primrose, the flower my sister was named for.
I just got goosebumps. This is such a well-written fucking series.
I know, and this is the first time that she goes back upstairs.
Takes a shower.
Takes a fucking shower.
Tries to fix her hair.
And guess what? Starts asking questions. Where's Gale? Where's this? Where's that?
Starts hunting.
She can only
come back to life.
Come back with him. Mm-hmm. And it just is so beautiful to me. And I'm like, because there's nothing, listen to me, this is what it is. Like, this is pure intimacy. There's nothing romantic. There's nothing sexy. There's nothing like dripping with like intention. He's literally just putting primrose in her side.
It's love.
It's love.
It's love without being in a romantic
crazy
relationship. It's just
fucking
pure
shit.
Love.
It's pure
love. It's
fucking
what you would
love.
do for somebody you love, a sister, a brother, a friend, a cousin.
It's just
love. Oh my god.
So then she goes into this whole thing and she's like, okay, so all these fucking things are happening. And then she starts talking to Greasy Say about like, oh, what am I gonna do?
Saggy May.
Saggy May. But this is what's interesting. She goes, several times I close my eyes and count to 10, thinking that when I open them, he will have materialized without a sound, and he so often did. She's talking about Gale.
Mm-hmm.
I have to remind myself that Gale's in two with a fancy job, probably kissing another pair of lips. She knew how quickly he was going to move on. And that's something that I'll always give her, right? And that's kind of like the downfall with Gale.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's that, like, Peeta was desperately, and I don't even want to, like, because I know that you can look at this any way you want, right? But, like, different people love differently. But, like, the way Peeta's portrayed is that it's such a pure, true love that he has for her.
Yep.
And with Gale, it's almost lustful, I feel. And not lustful in, like, a sexual way, but lustful in a, like, what you are,
what can I have from
who
you?
are, what we are, like this like thirst that he has for her, versus Peeta, who's like I will just, and he says it in the second book, he's like, can we just be friends? You know, I would like to just like be able to talk to you.
Yep. I know. So then, and I just feel like, right, so this is something like, so I work a lot with mental health, right? And this, I describe this to Carla, where it's so fucking on point, where she's like, Peeta brings the bread and Greasy Say cooks, and I start feeding Snickerdoodle. And slowly, with many lost days, I come back to life. I start talking to this, I start doing that, I start doing, this is so what the human mind that's been fragmented through trauma literally needs to remember. You're never going to be whole. You are never going to feel the way that you would have felt if this shit wouldn't have happened to you. You need to pick up pieces and start connecting them to get the fuck out of this funk.
You need to find a way to continue with your new reality.
Correct. So then we continue, right? They start doing this book.
Oh, I love this part.
I know.
Where Katniss is like, one day she's like, I tell Peeta, like,
I got the idea to you know, a photo, we can find it or sketch it.
Like Peeta can draw it because he's an artist.
Haymitch.
And then Haymitch very begrudgingly is like,
okay,
fine, I'll do some. And then eventually he adds, which speaks to how fucked up he is.
I know.
Where he adds every single tribute that he's ever, like, mentored.
Yep.
In, how old is he in this book? Like 40-something. In the 30-something years that he's been doing this?
Yep. Haymitch finally joins us, contributing 23 years of tributes he was forced to mentor.
But the way, okay, for him to memorize every name, every face, every characteristic, it tells you, like,
he wasn't just a drunk.
He is so destroyed at this point for a fucking reason. Aside from losing his family, look at this shit. 23 faces that he has sent off to death.
Yeah. And, you know, insane. Because he's such a drunk. Because he cannot cope with this shit in any other way.
But I mean, I don't blame him.
I don't blame at all. And you know what? This makes me even more, like, excited to read his book. Because I feel like even the analysis that we've given him in this episode and prior is not going to give him justice.
No, I completely agree.
I know we're going to have to do a whole Haymitch situation.
And I love that. I think he deserves it.
So I'm going to read this last part. And then we'll, you know. She goes, Peeta and I grew back together.
I love this part.
I know, me too.
She talks about the hunger,
There are still moments when he clutches the back of a chair and hangs on until the flashbacks are over. I wake screaming from nightmares of months and lost children, but his arms are there to comfort me, and eventually his lips. On the night I feel that thing again, the hunger that overtook me on the beach. I know this would have happened anyway. That what I need to survive is not Gale's fire, kindled with rage and hatred. I have plenty of fire myself. What I need is the dandelion in the spring. The bright yellow that means rebirth instead of destruction. The promise that life goes on, no matter how many our losses. That it can be good again, and only Peeta can give me that. So after, when he whispers, you love me, real or not real, I tell him real. And I'm like,
I got like 3 goosebumps back to back reading with you reading that,
because it's so important for me to have to read.
I cried when I read that.
Shit. I know. And then
I love the part where she talks about the children, and she doesn't give them names, which I loved.
I know, this is my favorite part too, because it goes, listen, the whole thing is a whole thing, but like I will read it and then we'll whatever. She goes, the boy with blonde curls, the dancing girl with the dark hair and blue eyes. It took 5, 10, 15 years. That's when we forget like how young these kids are. Peeta and Katniss cannot be more than 17.
Not even that. What? Okay, do the math. What's 17 plus 18?
15. 17 plus 15.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Hold on.
I think it's like 32.
Right. So like that's not
even
that's
like
not
old.
really like
That's like usually when people start having kids nowadays.
But that's not even like that's not young, that's not old, but that's not like
Right away.
it took time.
Yeah, that's
and
what
remember
I love
that they are older in their mind than they are physically.
Fuck yeah. So it took 5, 10, 15 years for me to agree, but Peeta wanted them so badly. When I first felt her staring inside of me, I was consumed with a terror that felt as old as life itself. Only the joy of holding her in my arms could tame it. Carrying him was a little easier, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, it goes back into
Can you imagine?
I cannot even imagine.
Can you imagine all of this trauma that you continue to live with? These things, you carry them with you for the rest of your life.
Especially in adolescence where you can remember.
Even in adulthood, like you see these people like that go through such horrendous things, like the Holocaust survivors, like or like even you don't even have to go that far. Like people that have survived like SA, and it's just like they are forever changed, and they can never go back, and they live with that for the rest of their lives. And I'm not trying to compare that to this, but it's just like it goes to show how well thought out Katniss and her trauma, and like how deep this shit affects, where it's like even at 35 she's talking to her baby,
even when she has proof of almost 15 years that there hasn't been a Hunger Games, that things are like
is that she's at peace, where she has 2 children, where she's happy with her husband, and she's still like, she talks to her child and she's like, you know, like, oh, did you have a nightmare? And she's like, I have them too, but I have to play this
games to play.
It's just like, I play this game where I like list all the good things, I have goosebumps, that I've ever seen anybody do. And she's like, and it's tedious, but there are worse games that you can play. And it's just like, no matter how much older she gets, no matter how much she moves on in life, she will never escape the games.
No, fucking 10 out of 10. Insane to me.
And the way that she implemented it in the last page, where it's like, finally you get the epilogue and you're like, oh, she's at peace finally. And she's like, but she's not. She's not, and she never will be.
No.
Chills.
I know.
Such a fucking masterpiece. I love her. She's such a good author.
Amazing. So,
do you have any closing thoughts on Peeta, on Katniss, or on Haymitch?
So my closing thoughts are, I love Katniss and Peeta equally. I think Peeta just gets a little slight bump for me because there's nothing that I dislike about him.
I agree. I don't dislike anything about Katniss either, though.
No. Okay, so that's a good point. I don't dislike anything about Katniss. I just think that she does the right character. She has the right character that maybe reminds me of me. Like, she's abrasive.
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't rub most people the right way, right? So I think that that's kind of like the back and forth between her and Peeta. I think I'm very excited to dive into Haymitch's book. Okay. But I do think that Haymitch was a very tragically hurt character. I agree. And I think that when he realized that he had fighters, things switched up for him. But then when he lost Peeta and she blamed him for it, he went down a deep end.
Oh, and then think?
Yeah. I think so. I think like you said
about it, honestly.
I think that there wasn't much that they were talking about him in District 13 because he wasn't really even part of anything.
I agree.
One thing that I would say, what I love about this series is how fucking realistic it is. Yeah. Because Plutarch, when she's getting pardoned, she goes, how do you know you're not part of these games? And he says something like, I think we'll get peace for a little bit, but you know.
Yeah,
like
he's
he
"It never
knows
lasts."
it never lasts.
He says something like, what does he say exactly? Like peace is fickle, or like he's like, but you know how this.
He just gives her like the whole thing, like a summary of like whatever. They're
Like the trial and
exonerating
stuff.
him. Yeah, they're exonerating her. And then Plutarch's sure they could find a role for her. And then Plutarch has a good laugh, and it never seems to bother him when no one else appreciates his jokes. And she's like, "Are you preparing for another war, Plutarch?" And he's like, "Oh, not now." I'm like, the fuck. Now we're in that sweet period where everyone agrees that our recent horrors should never be repeated. But collective thinking is usually short-lived. We're fickle, stupid beings with poor memories and a great gift for self-destruction. Although, who knows? Maybe this will be it, Katniss. And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "The time it sticks. Maybe we are witnessing the evolution of the human race. Think about that." And then he's like, and then he
Do you want
asks
to be in my fucking contest of singing?
the singing program. And then he's like, "I'm fucking leaving."
And he's like, bye.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so look, Plutarch throughout the whole series is pretty, well, throughout the whole last book, because you don't really get much of him at any other point, but he's pretty, like, shitty.
Goal-oriented. Yeah.
He's pretty, I like him, but he's just very, like, he doesn't care. Like, he's, like, aloof.
Surface level.
Yeah, he's like, oh, all of this has happened. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be good.
Surface level goal,
Like, it doesn't.
move on. Yeah.
He's not like, wow, you've been through so much. Or like, he's just not serious. He's very unserious. He's very like, hee hee hee, ha 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 for everything.
Exactly.
Everything is like a joke to him. Or not a joke, but he's just very chill with everything.
Yep.
And that, I think, is one of the most like,
He's aware.
Intensely true things that he has said. Where it's like, yeah, you can hate him if you want. You can think he's a dumbass. But that is as true and accurate as it can be.
Exactly where he's at. He knows exactly what's to come.
Fickle human beings with an affinity for conflict.
And he's playing the games.
And he's right.
Yep. He knows how to play what side he needs to be on.
He knows because he's been a part of the system.
Because if he wouldn't know, he wouldn't even have been in higher government with Snow.
You know what's super interesting too is that like he is happy with the new president. So it means to me like he didn't want to be the new president. So it's like,
no,
he's
like
being
covert.
A backstage guy.
Yep.
You like manipulating and controlling things in the back.
Exactly what he loves.
You don't ever want to be the figurehead. You don't want to take all the heat. You like to pull strings in the background.
Yep.
Kind of makes me like him.
He's a game maker.
Yeah. Through and through.
Through and through.
Fuck. Okay.
So anyways.
Do you have any parting thoughts on Haymitch?
I'm just excited to see his book.
I think that there's more that we can talk about Haymitch, but I'm excited to talk about that
him in the whole.
Yeah,
yep.
I love that we're going to have a whole episode for him.
Yes.
And I think maybe we could tie in whatever little loose ends we didn't touch on this episode with him.
Yeah.
So, wait, any thoughts on Caesar Flickerman? Just like a quick, I don't have much to say.
If it's a quickie, right? Like,
did you have a lot to say about him?
Not really.
Okay.
Like, I just want to mention how I think that he was very aware of the horrors near the end.
Yeah.
And I think he still tried to help put them in the right light in their interviews.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, Caesar, I don't have much to say, but what I will say is that he gave very scripted to me. Like, he gave very, like, I am good at controlling the situation the narrative based off of what I know is expected of me. Exactly. So when he has
off script, I'm
gonna bring you back. And in a natural way, like he is
in a funny,
he's very
charismatic way,
very good
like,
at interviewing.
Oh, you don't mean that? Ha ha ha!
And
let's focus on this.
Like you like him.
Yep.
From what you see of him.
Yep. And it gives the same vibes that Katniss feels about her design team of like.
But I liked him more than the design team.
No, same.
Even though once flip that script, once it's Mockingjay, he's like the Mockingjay evil bitch. Like, and it's like, am I disappointed? Am I mad at him? No, but I'm just like, you're doing what you were meant to do. Exactly. You're doing what you're great at, which is following the script. It's kind of like
you are the
all you have to do is give him guidance. Like, hey,
I need
do
this.
this, and he can run with it free.
Exactly.
Like, and like, he doesn't need a script. Like he just knows how to touch what he needs to.
Exactly. I agree.
Any closing thoughts on anybody else?
I think we've covered a lot, but there's always an option for later.
Are we done with the trilogy?
We are done for now.
It has been quite a long.
I think we've equaled like 6 or 7 hours of just Hunger Game trilogy.
Yep.
So we are excited to take a pause from here. Not really.
I'm kind of sad.
I know.
I'm sad that we're closing out this trilogy. I know that you and I could both say a lot more. We could talk in circles about literally anyone.
Forever.
But I don't know. I'm happy that we gave it, like, I think we did a pretty good job at, like.
We separated into the, we thought it
rushed
was going to be 2 parts. It's been 4, like 2 or 3 hours each.
Oops.
So I love it though.
I know.
I think we gave it a thorough analysis. And now we're going to ramp up to get to these prequels.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with Snow's book.
Yep.
So that's going to be our next episode.
It's a thick one. 500 pages, right?
Yep. 500 something. So we're going to dive into the Snow's book. You can look forward to a Ballad of Songs and Snakes, which we're going to focus on for our next episode.
Yep.
And then after that, we'll dive into A Sunrise on the Reaping, which is Haymitch's book.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got quite to we're still going to be in the Hunger Games world. We're just going to be traveling to the past.
Yeah. And you can look forward to different drinks from us, because now that we're done with the trilogy and the berries, we're going to get creative with.
We're going to give you something different.
The only thing I don't know that I can do is, like, I think that Haymitch drinks like gasoline, and I cannot do that. Like, the liquor that he drinks looks so intense.
Insane.
It looks like moonshine.
We're going to find a creative way to make it
out.
fun. Yeah. But thank you for staying with us through the very thorough and long analysis, and catch us on our next episode, still in the Hunger Games world. And we appreciate you being here. Leave us comments around whatever you agree or don't agree with. What's really fun is that Carl and I agree on a lot of things, but not everything.
Yeah, and then when we don't agree, we can argue for like 5 days.
Ever. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you're on my side.
Or my side, because she's a dumbass.
But tell us so that we can tell Carla
she's
how
wrong.
dumb she is.
Tell her she's a fucking dumb bitch. Don't say that, but because I will come for you. But
same.
Tell her she's wrong. But thanks for watching.
This is Booked and Buzzin', and we'll see you next time.
Bye.